Hey guys, Sean C. Phillips here doing a live stream now, a Saturday live stream. I've been doing these a lot more lately. I did one 2 days ago as well. Kind of do these all off the cuff. I never really talk about when I'm doing them or really promote ahead of time and stuff like that. I should start to try and have a scheduled sort of time for doing these things in the future. I'm trying to, for the most part, do them on Saturdays is one of the days I'm doing it for the most part. I feel like I'm going to try to stick to that, every Saturday or every other Saturday, at least when I'm not filming or have free time and stuff like that. So anyway, guys, feel free, guys, to ask any questions you guys have about anything. We also have super chats on here as well, so you guys can ask any super chat questions as well, and that's just a way to help the channel and the videos and stuff like that. There is a super thanks as well. That's a brand new thing. I think I've only been able to put that on the videos for the past 2 weeks. It's just another kind of it's sort of essentially what it is like a PayPal type thing, and you see that now on a lot of people's channels. They have those super thanks and stuff like that. So it's just recently I was able to add that to the channel. Someone says, "Can you record play button?" If I ever get to 100,000 subscribers, if I ever get to that point, I hope at some point, something will kind of I don't know, be like a big push again. I feel like in the past, when it came to pushes to get a bunch of subscribers in the past, it had been things like Comic-Con videos. I think in the past I got 1,000 or two new people from some of the really popular ones. Black Friday videos, stuff like that. So it's I need more of those type of videos, and then that kind of brings an influx of more people in and stuff like that. So hopefully at some point something like that happens. Maybe when one of these movies comes out, equal some more people if it gets some attention. You never know. You never really know kind of how it happens or what's going to happen and stuff like that. But I definitely hope that in the next at least year to get to 100,000 subscribers, maybe year and a half, something like that would be great. Someone says, what happened to MJ? Well, everyone always brings him up, but the thing is, it's MJ's sort of become an urban legend these days. Anybody who doesn't know MJ, go on the channel and just search around the town, and if you look up any of the videos that were from the years of 2007 to 2010 till August 2010, I did a whole bunch of videos with him around the town, video blogs, basically going to stores, walking around Walmart, just kind of like what I do now on Tuesday in a way, but it was just kind of general, going and getting food and stuff like that. And when I moved in 2010, he stayed back in Maryland, and then we had kind of a weird falling out thing, and then we reconnected again 5 years ago, because he was going to move back out here, and then he didn't. So it's this whole weird thing, and now for the past, I guess, 4 years, he's been totally 100% MIA. He has no social media presence. He has no Instagrams, nothing. You know what I mean? Literally nothing. He used to have an old flip phone. He never had a new kind of cell phone. It was an old Razor. So I don't know if he looks on the internet. I don't know if he's aware of what I'm doing anymore or anything. I have no idea. So so basically, if any of you guys are really good at investigating things and stuff like that, you guys can try and figure out where where MJ is, but I don't know. So you just search Matthew. His name's Matthew James Kelly. I know he was in Colorado at one point. I know he was in Texas at one point. That's kind of all I know. But maybe at some point we'll find him again, but as of now, I have no clue. So it's like I said, it's just so weird how every single video, it's always or every live stream, it's people always asking about him. I almost feel like I could do a live stream when I'm a very old man right on my deathbed, and the questions will all be, well, did you get to talk to MJ one last time before you died? You know what I mean? I feel like for the rest of my life, that's kind of going to be what it always is. I see a question that says, I pre-ordered Amityville Karen first day. Any updates on Amityville Shark House? Yeah, Karen, thanks so much for picking up a copy of Amityville Karen. If any of you guys are interested in getting that, you can get a copy of that on SRS Cinema's website. That's where you guys can get the Blu-ray. And then there is a wide release DVD of it, and that one's going to be on, that's available on Amazon. Hopefully, get in some stores and stuff like that. That comes out in September. And then Shark House, I talked to the composer today a little bit, and he was telling me about some of the music he was working on, and he's going to be doing the music on Bigfoot. And I was talking to him about some kind of crazy ideas for there's a movie within a movie in Amityville Bigfoot, and I really want, when it's the movie footage of them, the actual cheesy horror movie that they're doing, I was telling him I really want music kind of in Terrific Trips, and I was sending him some examples and stuff of it. and he like definitely likes the idea, so that's cool. So I think we might be able to like revive Terrific Trips vibes a little bit in Amityville Bigfoot. We'll see. Someone said, "Did you get Cloak and Dagger from Vinegar Syndrome?" No, I didn't end up getting that one. I would love to see an updated out of print Blu-rays video. I have to do another one of those. I have not done one in forever. Someone says, "Why not subscribe to Sissy Ramirez? I don't know who that is. Have you watched Velocipaster? I did. I saw that one. I thought that was okay. Hey Sean, what's up? What's some of your best autograph? What's some of the best online autograph websites in your opinion? I'm not gonna lie. When it comes to autographs, I don't know anything about that. Like honestly, definitely talk to Wet Movie One, because like he knows about autographs. Like me, I don't know anything about that. Like I don't know anything about. I know that there's like those websites that where they have like private signings and everything, but I don't know what they are. Like I don't know, for some reason I've never really been like big on like autograph collecting. I don't know, what it is. Like, and now especially since I'm doing like putting together the movies and stuff like that, I really, I don't know, it's like kind of weird. I'm like, I don't want to get people's autographs. I want to work with these people and get them in my projects and stuff. And I just feel like going to them and if you kind of come across fanboyish or something, I worry that like people, I don't know, I think people remember that, and it's like I don't want someone to like see me as like, oh, the fanboy. And sometimes too, and I can attest for this, if an actor or somebody gets wind that you are a fan of them, they can abuse the situation too. You know what I mean? So you have to be very careful with that. You don't really want to ever hire somebody and then like be gushing at them the whole time, and because what happens if you do that, they will think they can get away with anything. So that's a true thing. So if you're making a movie, like if it doesn't matter who it is, even if you're so excited to be working with the person, just try and keep it together the best you can, because the advantage can be taken. You can basically be taken advantage of really badly by certain people, and I've witnessed it happening. So like I said, just be very careful, and stuff like that. Someone says, let's see, was Lloyd Kaufman a nice guy when you met him? Yeah, Lloyd Kaufman was always great. I definitely hope to get to do something with him again. I haven't seen him. I don't know. It's been years now since I've seen him at a convention. I feel like it's probably maybe like 2018 or something like that. It was probably at Stanley's Kamikaze back when it was still called that. I think it was probably that long ago, because maybe, I don't know, maybe he was. Yeah, I feel like it was. Because everything that happened in the world, there was no Comic-Con, and he wasn't at the Comic-Con Light. And then before that, I don't feel like I remember seeing him in 2019, so it was probably like 2018. But he was always cool, though. I have a video up, though, on the channel going to Troma Studios. So if you guys want to see a video, like just search Troma Studios tour. On my channel, it was basically me interviewing Lloyd Kaufman and stuff like that. Did you see the new Father of the Bride yet? I didn't know that was already out. I saw a trailer for it, though. Thoughts on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles? I've always been a fan of the Ninja Turtles. I don't follow, like, the new ones or anything. And, like, I really have never followed the comic books. But I watched the cartoon as a kid. And then the movies, though, especially. And the one that I watched the most, though, was the second one. For some reason, the first movie, I know it was a better film. The second one, to me, was the one I like to watch. Someone says, who's the better actor, Sylvester Stallone or Kurt Russell? I think probably, honestly, I would say Kurt Russell. I think. Can you get fat again for me? No, I don't really feel like getting fat again. Thoughts? You said. I thought you said MJ's first name was Miles. No, his real name is Matthew James Kelly. We always had all those ridiculous names for some reason. I don't really know what it was, but he had this thing about having these fake names. What do you think about the same-sex kiss in the Buzz Lightyear movie? I think it's good. I think it's good that things like that are happening. I think it's time to embrace the way the world is and stop trying to like hide things and make people not be their true selves. And I'm glad. That's the one thing I'm really glad about in the world is nowadays you just see everybody just being the way they really are, and not bullshitting and not having to worry about people or I don't know. I know it still happens in some of these flyover states. A lot of people still don't have a lot of people that are bad and backwards thinking and stuff. But I'm glad for the most part things are changing in this day and age. So I'm definitely happy about that. Let's see. And all the movies that I do too are very inclusive in every sense. Like I think about that more so than I think a lot of people probably do. I watch Licorice Pizza and understand the title now. One is licorice, one is pizza. They definitely should not get together. I think it's actually a term. My brother looked it up, I think, and it's like something to do with skateboarding or no. I think it deals with something with record collecting or something. Yeah, I think it was record collecting. Would you ever consider participating in a physical media battle on 4K Dre's channel? I don't know who that is. I'll have to look who that person is. You seem to steer towards horror comedies for your films. Would you ever consider venturing into something more outwardly personal? Big fan, by the way. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like, to me though, when it comes to like, casting and selling the movies and all that kind of stuff, I really know, horror movies and comedies and stuff like that. I don't know, like it's weird. It's very hard to sell like an action film if it's under $1 million. It's like nobody wants them. It's like when you look at the ones that are the action films, they always had like Bruce Willis, because I know Bruce Willis just recently retired, but those type of movies were always like those were probably like a $5 million movie. So you never really saw action movies for less than $1 million. Drama movies are always like, you usually have to have a really, really, really good story, and they're hard to sell. And straight comedies, when it's just a comedies, are very hard to sell. You have to have like a Kevin Hart kind of person in the film. So it's difficult. It's a very difficult thing. But but horror films can sell. It doesn't matter how cheap they are. The thing is, though, I'm trying to elevate a lot more now with these movies, and trying to, little by little get better with the everything, the people we have working on them and everything, and just, learning more and more as I go along and stuff like that. But I feel like I really understand horror comedies. I could see myself doing more serious in nature ones, though, like ones that are not as funny, so maybe more straightforward horror. I don't think I'd ever want to do anything too drama related, even if I had a lot of money to do it. I don't really want to bring myself to that headspace. I don't enjoy, being depressed and getting, I don't know. It's just, it'd be a little much to have to stay in that kind of a mindset and stuff like that. And I'm also somebody who's very, very method for some reason. It seems to be easier for me to act if I really basically stay in the character as much as I can. And it's very weird, and some people don't stand that, but it's like it's very hard to leave a character and come right back into it. You have to stay in that mindset. So it's not like I'm going to be acting the whole way the character would be, but I have to stay that same way. So when I was doing the Shark House, I had to stay very depressed and very sad and angry and just sort of like broken. So I had to just stay in that mindset non-stop doing that movie, because and it was very difficult. And it was, to me, I don't think I'd ever want to have to play that kind of a role again. And especially when I only filmed it like in 5 days. It was too quick, and then I couldn't. Like I said, I was stuck like that for 2 weeks, just sort of depressed, because like I said, I stayed in that character. And I know that's not the way a lot of people do it, but I think it was like, I felt like that was my biggest chance with a movie too, because I knew who was going to distribute the movie before we started shooting. So it was just like, okay, I don't know if I'm ever going to have a chance like this again, at least on my account, where it's like literally my movie and I'm directing this movie and everything. So I'm like, okay, I have to just do this. And that, it just about killed me. Let's see. Let's see. Have you had contact with MJ since 2012? So it was probably 2018 maybe, or 2017, because he came back in 2012, I think, with a video, like a couple different videos for maybe a month or two. And then he came back in 2018 with videos. And those videos were ones where he was very, very out with things. He was answering a lot of questions that people were really bothering them about. Very personal stuff that they did not need to be talking about. And then all of a sudden they just left. And it was just a weird sort of thing. If they were going to be moving out here, MJ was working with like a delivery service, and they were going to transfer out in this area. And it was going to be a big thing. He was going to be out in LA. And then all of a sudden, when he came out here, he couldn't find a place. And in less than 24 hours, they already left, got on the road, and then moved to Colorado. And then at that point, I never heard from them again. So it was just a very strange thing. Let's see. Can you do a McDonald's mukbang? I don't really eat a lot at Muck. I don't eat meat, so there's not much there I would eat. Hey, Sean, just wanted to say hi. Absolutely love that you stand up for yourself and become something in this crazy industry. Much props to you and respect. Well, thanks so much, Don. Cobra Kai, underrated. What are your thoughts on Eastern Promises? I like that movie. I watched it again for the first time again for about maybe a year or so ago. The trauma video was how I got into your videos. Oh, that's cool, Evan. That was the first one. Have you seen 13 Hours, The Secret Soldiers of Benghazi? So how would you rank it in military movies? I thought that one was okay. I'm like kind of weird when it comes to like military war movies. I don't like that many. Like there's some of them that I really do like, but there's some of them that are just not my type of film. But that though I don't think is my favorite one though. When is Comic-Con coming back? It's actually next month. It's in San Diego, and right now, pretty much all the conventions are back because I've been watching a lot of these horror convention videos and all this type of stuff. So it seems like they're all pretty much back. I mean, I don't know how I feel about it all the time now because I honestly I went to Monsterpalooza, and then I got sick right after. So it's like I'm pretty sure I got it there. So it's like. That's the only thing. It's now I'm like, I guess I have to wear the diaper on my face when I go around. It's because like I don't know. I didn't want to, but I'm like I don't want to get sick again. So it's like an awkward thing. It's an awkward situation, and I'm like, oh damn it. And I know a lot of you guys are in the same situation. You should make movie channel. Well, this is pretty much what this is a movie channel. It's been a movie channel since 2006. It's like you know what I mean. Like I've been doing the same shit since 2006. Tell us about the Killer Robots Crash and Burn. That was a movie that I filmed, I think that was 2011 that I went to do that, and it was all done on the green screen. It was filmed in Florida. And the guys in it were all from a band. I think it was called Killer Robots. Sean and I grew up going to the Jasper Mall. It was maybe an hour from my area. If you could talk them into filming there. I actually emailed the Jasper Mall. I never heard back. I'm going to try and call them because I feel like they would allow shooting at it. Like I said, that's the one big thing is I really want to do a movie in a mall. It doesn't have to necessarily be like the next movie that I do, but with Lauren and everything. But I want to do a film in a mall. So if anybody knows a mall that I could shoot in, I don't really care what state it's in because honestly, I'm fine traveling because all I have to do is just bring the camera team and then some of the actors and stuff. And a lot of people are flying in and stuff to do the movies as it is. So it doesn't really matter where, the state that we shoot at and stuff like that. And I think it'd be kind of fun to shoot somewhere really different, like really, really different. I really like to shoot something in Florida. I know I want to do something with Lauren in New York. So I don't want to just be stuck in California. I kind of want to do kind of a lot of areas. But it would be amazing to shoot there. That would be a great mall. The one mall that I feel like might be that I could possibly get access to is the Barstow Mall. It's a very, very small mall. But if they would let me dress some of the closed down rooms and stuff like that, then I could probably make it work. You just have to bring a bunch of crap in there and dress it, and you just get a set dresser and stuff, and you do it in like 2 of the stalls in the mall because I think for the most of these malls too are dead, so I'd have to have some of them actually have some stuff in them. Otherwise it would be like what is this? Let's see. Hey man, love the channel. Have you seen the new Top Gun? I have not seen the new one. I just found out the Canadian Bacon is coming out to Blu-ray. I think I saw something about that. For some reason, I don't know why, like that was like my least favorite John Candy movie. And it's like, I tried to watch that one a lot, and then like I never really liked it, and I don't know why. Do you think Shane Jensen will come back to YouTube? I don't think so. I think it was kind of like a lot of people would give him crap in the comments and everything, and it was just like he had enough of it. And I think that was sort of what happened. And that's the thing that sucks is like there's so many people that like do YouTube videos and stuff, and they just let the comments get to them, and then they're just gone. It's like they bounce off of YouTube, and then you never see them again. It's so odd, like the idea of some of these people who come on YouTube and they have a following, and then all of a sudden they just disappear off the face of the earth. To me, I don't know how they can do that. Like I've always thought about like that, like what it would be like to just vanish. You know what I mean? Like. But I couldn't imagine just like actually doing it and being gone for that long and like never coming back. Like somebody like Hannah Minks, like no one has a clue what happened to her. You know what I mean? Every time I see Spooky Dan, I say to him like, oh, is Hannah Minks still in your basement? Because he directed this horror movie with her, and then she went missing like literally like right after. So it's always this inside joke. Let's see. Have you heard of Image Movers Digital? No, I don't know what that is. Do you ever see yourself directing something that isn't horror related? Maybe something like, I feel like it would always be something kind of horror science fiction in a sense. You know what I mean? Like, I could see myself doing a straight comedy though. You know what I mean? Like, I could definitely see that, and like maybe like a romantic type comedy thing like that. But I don't know if I would do, like I said, do like a, if someone came to me with a budget and said, "Oh, here, you're going to give you a chance," because I know a lot of people that I know have gotten a lot of chances to do these big budget movies, like Mel Gibson movies and stuff like that, and they started off doing smaller movies that were like $100,000, $300,000, and then all of a sudden they got to do $10 million movies. So if I ever had the opportunity and they said, "Oh, Sean, would you like to direct this movie?" I would do it. I think it'd be fun. I would have to have an agreement though that I would first of all have to do something in it. I feel like anything I direct, I want to at least have some kind of a role in it, even if it's a small, tiny little role. And I'd also have to be able to put, at least a small, tiny degree of comedy in there. Maybe one character that's funny. You know what I mean? I can't have no funny characters. Even if I'm the guy that's funny in the movie, I want there to be a slight degree of comedy. You can't have no comedy whatsoever. So that would be the one, I think those would be the only things that would matter to me with it. Let's see, do you not know how to shoot a gun? No, I'm kind of like afraid of like guns and stuff like that. Like I saw this interview with, they were trying to have Matthew Lillard sign a knife, and he was like, "Oh, I'm scared of this knife. I don't want to touch this." And I'm sort of the same. Like when it comes to knives and guns and stuff like that, I'm really afraid of that stuff. Like I don't want to touch it. I don't really like to put it in the movies very much, especially guns. Like I try and keep guns out of the films as much as I can. Of course, there's knives and stuff, but like fake, the real fake stuff and everything. But when it comes to guns, I really try not to do that. A lot of that stuff. Let's see, what was the most recent truly scary film to you? I don't know, like what was really, really scary lately. Would you ever direct a TV show? No, I'd love to do something TV related. That'd be really cool, especially like something, like an Adult Swim, something like that. Like, Tropical Cocktails, like something like that would be amazing. Let's see. Somebody's been blocked here. Let's see. Just finished watching your Dollar Tree video. Did you hear Satan's Little Helper is coming to Blu-ray? I saw that. What's funny is Satan's Little Helper actually came out to Blu-ray a while ago, and I was always looking for it. I don't know if you guys remember. It was like a Walmart thing. You could only find it at Walmart, and it was a strange, like, censored version of the movie. So I always remember seeing, people, having pictures of that online. I could never find it. So it technically was on Blu-ray before, but this is the first time it's coming out with an uncut version. But I can't wait to get that, though. And I see a $2 super chat here from Hunter Skullrun, and Hunter says, "You gonna play the new Ninja Turtles game?" I didn't know anything, Hunter, about the new Ninja Turtles game. I'll have to look into it. Is it going to be like done kind of a retro style? Because I feel like nowadays everything, especially if it's more like 80s and 90s, relating to that, they always make it even more retro than ever. So I wonder if they're going to try and like design it to look kind of more of like a retro game or not. Let's see, or the look of the new Turtles. Did you see yourself? I talked about that. Would you ever direct a TV show? Stop giving so long answers. You can answer more questions. Thank you. Yeah, some people don't like if I answer long questions. I think I kind of do like that Kevin Smith thing sometimes, and like one question I give a lot to. I don't know why. I try to. Someone said, just finished watching your Dollar Tree video. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen that too, after this video, after you see the live stream, check out the new Dollar Tree one I've just put up. I just put that up earlier today. Thoughts on anger management? Yeah, I watched that one probably for the first time again, maybe like 3 months ago or so, and I thought that was funny. That was one of those ones I feel like out of the Adam Sandler movies, out of all the Adam Sandler films, that was one of those ones that I feel like I have like watched the least for some reason, and I don't know why, and it's actually pretty good. Let's see, thoughts. Who is the best actor you have worked with? I feel like James Duvall is probably one of my favorite actors to work with. He's just like a really nice guy. And then I would also say Todd Bridges was really, really cool. Like he was somebody that like on Mistletoe, I just talked to him forever just about all kind of random stuff. And he made a really nice post from the set, about the movie too. And it's like, I don't know, there's certain people you just have like a really good experience with. You get along really well with. So I would say definitely James Duvall and Todd Bridges. Let's see. I own your movie, The Killer Robots Crash and Burn, on Vudu account. I watch it a lot. Oh, thanks so much. Let's see. Do you know how to fly a helicopter? No, I would be afraid of doing that. Have you ever heard of the brain damage films called Cottontail? I think I never saw that. I did see the cover though. I remember seeing the cover for it. Hi, I like your old Spirit Halloween videos. They're from a very classic days of Spirit Halloween, and they're like a completely different thing today. Oh, I know. If you guys look up, I used to work back in the day. I only worked there for like a month at Spirit Halloween, and that was back. I think it was in 2007. 2006, 2007. So it's so funny because I actually filmed a little bit of video in there. And it's just funny kind of seeing it, the difference of it now. Because if back then it was really all about the costumes a lot more than it, because now it's kind of become more like about props and like like little figurines and stuff for your yard and like different kind of things. It's much more different items. And back then there was essentially basically all about the costumes, and the costumes were also very cheap, and they didn't have as many of the good licensing properties back then. So it was mainly their own properties, and then a lot of those like slutty kind of like horror kind of girl costumes, and that was kind of it. It was very weird. Like I said, like you guys should definitely check that out. It is definitely funny to kind of see the difference at it. I actually work at Spirit Halloween. I had a great experience. Also, if you don't mind asking, how did you get fired? Well, I got fired from what I remember. Here the real reason. I know the truth reason behind it all now. So basically, I remember it was kind of weird. Like I remember we were late getting into work. I was only late one time, and then we just basically the manager said, "I'm sorry, you're late. You're fired." It was like the first try, first warning. We never had any other past warnings or anything like that. It was just like late one time. I think we were 15 minutes late, and then we were out. I found out later, though, that like essentially MJ had some kind of a big disagreement with one of the managers or something, wasn't getting along with them, and then like I guess they had like some kind of a screaming match or something happened. They had some kind of a disagreement, and then it was like because of that they fired me, and they used that as an excuse to get rid of him. I don't know, it's something like that. Basically, him had an issue with somebody there, and then it kind of like I was collateral damage of the whole thing. I think you're a very talented individual with a good things coming from him. I love your stuff, dude. I really do. Oh, thanks so much. Fashion Square Mall, Orlando. That's a cool mall. Yeah. Oh, I don't know. Have I been to that mall? I don't know. I think I have, though. Thoughts on Jurassic World? I have not seen that yet. Have you seen Cannibal Holocaust? If so, what are your thoughts about it? I like that movie. I don't like the animal stuff in there, but as a movie though, I think it's a movie too that I remember when I first saw it. It really gave me a lot of inspiration for just like shooting in that style and trying to make things be very realistic feeling. Let's see. Who said they were open to filming? Someone. Fashion Square Mall, Orlando. Okay, so that mall, I'll have to look up. Orlando would be good to shoot in too. Fashion Square Mall, Orlando. Yeah, I definitely want to do a movie in a mall. So like I said, I want to see what this one looks like. But that might be kind of cool. I think I actually have been to this though, because I went to Orlando many times. I went to a lot of malls out there. I wonder if that's the one that's near the auto train to the Amtrak. That might be the one that I went to. Let's see. Viewer, hey Sean, been a viewer since Around the Town vlogs. I wanted to ask, what are your thoughts about that? Missed the early days of YouTube, or maybe feel you took for granted? No, I definitely do like miss some of the early days of that kind of stuff. When I think back to how different YouTube was too then. Let's see. Keep up the awesome work, Sean. I still hope to work with you on a project someday. Almar in Connecticut would definitely welcome you. We actually have a dollar store here in Waterbury Mall. I'll look into if you're interested. Yeah, definitely, Don. That's what I said. Like, I want to find a mall to make like a slasher film. I think it'd be really cool. An old school slasher film, really effects based. You know what I mean? Like a cool killer. I don't know. It's just something I really, really want to do. It's kind of like the what was it? Killer. There was the one that Killer at Noon or something. It was a movie about mental patients that broke out of a nut house. That was the one that I'm thinking of a lot when I'm thinking of this movie. The style that I want it to be. Like I kind of want to make it very 70s in some senses. I don't know. I have a lot of things I've been thinking of for it. Let's see. And definitely we'll have to get a celebrity too, like a big name to be like the mall manager in the movie. Let's see. Night of the Chicken Dead. That was a fun movie. Let's see. Hey Sean, I found the work print of Beetlejuice on the web. It's awesome. Oh, there's a work print of Beetlejuice. Post a link to that underneath on the in the comments. I definitely have not seen the work print of Beetlejuice. Can you do more of those around the town or day trips videos like the old zoo trips? Yeah, I need to do more of that kind of stuff. I haven't really done a lot of that stuff. Like I haven't been to Disney in 2 years, so there's a lot of stuff like that have got to do again. What does a pizza delivery guy and a gynecologist have in common? Yep, that's an old Ron Jeremy joke, yes. Oh, Ron Jeremy. Let's see, are you still going to the gym? No, I basically just walk now and then do the bike. Why do you think places like Walmart only get DVDs and new releases still in 2012? It's a very strange thing. For some reason, like Walmart is like the number one place that, stocks DVDs, and it's like they really are the kind of deciding factor on releases and everything. It's like if Walmart doesn't want something, a lot of times there won't be a physical media release of it at all. It's crazy, and Walmart seems to really prioritize DVD, and I don't know why. I guess they feel like more people have DVD, and then there's a degree of people that did not, like the older crowd didn't embrace Blu-ray for some reason. They think I don't know what it is. I definitely cannot figure it out, because they really put all their emphasis on DVD, and it's like I don't get it. And it's like they really, like I said, it's they 90% of the time they prefer to have DVDs of things. And if you look at it, they have the Blu-rays that have a DVD copy with it, but if it's like one of those things where it's only a Blu-ray and there's not a DVD included with it, then that particular movie, a lot of the times they will only have the DVD copy. So it's like I said, it's a strange sort of thing. Are you excited about Silent Night, Bloody Night 3? Yeah, definitely excited to see Will Clazo. Yeah, Will Clazo and Julianne are directing Silent Night, Bloody Night 3 together. Let's see, it's 100% retro, just came out yesterday. If someone Hollywood has interested in making a Donnermurph movie or show, would you agree to be in it or produce it? Yeah, I would definitely do something Donnermurph related. What do you think is the future of physical media? Do you think we will really own anything in 2030? I think it'll be all very boutique related. I think it'll be like people will be buying it from specialty sites like Vinegar Syndrome and places like that. I think that's kind of the only way it's going to really, really continue on in a big way, is just in just boutique labels. And I think there'll be more and more smaller distributors that come up that that are basically there'll be distributors that for films and stuff like that, and their main goal is distributing it to streaming. Basically there'll be like a sales agent, but at the same time they're also do burn on demand discs, and they'll do it through smaller companies and stuff. So I kind of think that physical media is going to kind of continue on as more burn on demand, and that'll be kind of how it will. I think it's going to be there'll be more and more streaming, more and more sites like that, more and more free ways to see stuff, but then less and less physical media in stores, but more and more places burning on demand and stuff like that. So I don't think it will ever be gone. I think it'll probably be a point where it'll be gone in Target and Best Buy and stuff like that. I think Walmart will hang on to it for a while. I really think that Walmart will probably keep it for another, like, I don't know, at least 5 or 6 years. I think it's got at least 5 years in Walmart for sure, no matter what, for DVDs and Blu-rays. I think like Target, maybe 2 years before they're done with it. I think Best Buy is going to be done with it in total in about a year. But I think what they're going to do is they're going to have specialty things where they have special steel books for like Fast and Furious, for Marvel movies, stuff like that. So I think you're going to still see physical media in Best Buy 2 or 3 years from now, 4 years from now, but it'll be like Marvel releases and stuff like that, where it'll be very special collector's editions, steelbook exclusive, stuff like that. You just won't see, Halloween, just generic stuff in there anymore. That's kind of what I kind of think will happen. Let's see. How bad are the spiders in California? Yeah, there's pretty bad. Like when I was walking and everything, when I used to walk the neighborhood more, because I used to walk way into the neighborhood, walk under these trees and everything, and I would see these enormous, terrifying spiders. So there definitely are bad spiders out here. Will you become part of the new Morbiverse, the Mobius movie? Do you think you would go to a water park again with Danny this summer? I don't know. I haven't been to any water parks in forever. Let's see. Guess so. You know my name is Brendan Solomon, and if you can you connect with me on Facebook? Hey Sean, congratulations on directing. Oh hey Logan Toxic, the one who rocks it. I miss your videos, Logan. Let's see. I hope you're proud of how far you've come in your film journey, Sean. Well, and thanks so much, Liv. It definitely is like hard to believe though, because I remember like 2 years ago, kind of like just talking to my brother, saying, "Oh, I'd love to direct a movie and I'd love to do this," and that's just hard to believe now that within all this amount of time, within only a year span, I've directed all these movies. It's just such a weird thing to think about, and I have all these things planned that me and Lauren are going to be doing film wise. So it's like I'm just like, really excited. It's just like so much stuff, and I feel like it took me to. I mean, it's like it sucks. It took me to 36 years old to finally like do all this stuff and do what I should have been doing earlier. But it's like at least I'm finally doing it, and at least I didn't like die not doing it. Because it would have sucked if I was one of those kind of people that I was like dying on my deathbed going, man, I wish I did this, man, I wish I did that. And like that's my new kind of thing in life is I realize that you can't you live one time, you have one life. Don't think about like, oh, the afterlife is gonna be better. No, you're living. This is life. This is your life. Don't worry about the future when you're dead. Oh, the pearly gates and all that. It's like, oh, okay, but please, please, please worry about your life when you're alive. You're alive, and that's the way I put it. And I don't care about the religion thought on it. I just care about living while you're alive. And I feel like I don't want to have regrets, and I don't want to regret not doing things. I don't want to regret not getting to do these movies. I don't want to regret not getting to tell someone something that I don't know, all these things. And I feel like it's so important. You just have to make sure you don't have regrets. And that's the way I live my life now, is no regrets. Try my best to just be happy, and I think that's very important. And that's the way I really encourage people to try and live their life, is just remember, this is your life now, and try to make it the best you can. If you're unhappy with something, do your best to change it. If you don't like where you're working, look as hard as you can for a better job that you like more. You know what I mean? Like there's always options. There's always things you can do. You're never stuck. You're never fully trapped. You're not. You might think that you are. You're not. Let's see. It's like Sean, the motivational speaker. Let's see. Yeah, Spirit Halloween does have those giant displays for their store now with all the animatronics. Yeah, they didn't have any of that. I think, as far as I remember in Spirit, when I worked there, I think that they had a big Jason Voorhees, maybe. But it wasn't even an animatronic one. It was one of those ones that I think just sat on your yard where it just would stay stagnant. It didn't move. It didn't light up or anything like that. But as far as I remember, that was the only kind of big statue thing they had at Spirit. And then they might have also had like those, those really cheap styrofoam gravestones. Like I definitely feel like I remember those. Other than that, I don't think they had a lot of that stuff. Because like I said, this was back in 2006 or 2007, something around that period of time. So it was very different. Like I said, when you look at it now, like I can only imagine, because back then too in Spirit, I remember me and MJ had to set the whole store up. So we had to put the displays up, we had to get everything out of the boxes, we had to put up everything on the, it was a nightmare. And then we would set up a display, and then the manager was like, oh no, I don't think it looks good in this spot. Take it down. And then we'd be like, what? So then he would go and like just tear it all off the wall. It'd be thrown everywhere. He was like nuts. This guy was totally nuts. Throw it all on the ground, and we had to start all over again and do it again. And he'd be like, no, this side of the wall is not good. Do it on the other side. So it'd be like a big pole in the room. And there was one side of it had a pole where you could put stuff. The other side had a pole. So either basically both sides it could be stuff. He's like, oh, I don't like it on this side. Tear it down. Do it on the other side. I mean, it was almost like he was doing it on purpose to mess around with us. I don't know. I think he might have been like a little bit of a nutcase that was kind of getting off on messing with us, because it was literally, I remember there was at least 3 or 4 occurrences where we would set up a whole display, and he would say, oh yeah, it looks great. He'd look at it, come by, look at it as we were doing it. It'd all be done. And then he would go and have this total fit, tear it off the wall, and say, do it again. It was very weird. It was like so funny. I'm just remembering that now. Let's see. Like I said, trying to make sure I don't miss any of these things. Do you still go to Spirit? I do. I go to Spirit usually every single year, and then I always go to right when it's like the right day after Halloween to see the sales and stuff like that. And it's usually picked so there's like literally nothing left. Let's see. Sounds like lawsuit. Kind of sucks about getting fired. Is there any footage of Danny shaving his chest? I don't know. Did Danny shave his chest in a video? Let's see. How does an actor like me get the chance to be part of your films? Well, basically, I've done, for the most part, my films through crowdfunding. So I've had, like, through Indiegogo, like parts and stuff like that, where they had different perks you could get to be in the project. We do have, like, breakdown casting, though, so we have that on there. But we've really only gotten, for the most part on there, like, named celebrities and stuff like that, because that's how we've gotten a lot of really cool people. I'm never gonna say who, but oh my god, like some of the people that applied when we did Mistletoe, I mean, and some people, one actress, so we're definitely going to get her in the future. It was just not, it wasn't in the budget, and it was just a little too difficult to coordinate it. But it was just somebody that, if you guys know me, and there's one movie that I always talk about that's like this, it's a really weird, quirky film that I talk about like all the time. I like the music in it. I like the certain actors that are in it. It's one of my favorite character actors is in it. But basically, the star of that film, applied for the film, and I was like, oh my god. But I said, like I said, it just wasn't doable, and we didn't even really need that character in the film. But we're definitely gonna get her in the future, 100%. Let's see. Did you want American Video, Serial Mom? Video Americano in Maryland, where they filmed Serial Mom. I did. I went there a couple different times. Do you still go to Spirit Halloween? I talked about that. Your fatty bar video put me up on EG Daily. She's amazing. Oh yeah, EG Daily is amazing. She almost was in Mistletoe. It was like so close for her in Mistletoe. Been watching your videos since I was a little younger. Back when you did basement tour videos with MJ. Still go back and watch those videos from time to time. Oh yeah, thanks for going back and watching them and for watching so long. Towson or Owensville Mall, which was best back in the day? Back in the day, I liked Housetown Center better though, because it was close to my house and everything. Like literally that mall, I could walk to that mall, so I really liked that one. But I think Owings Mills Mall though was definitely a better quality mall back in the very beginning. Like I kind of liked the food court in Owings Mills Mall a little bit better, because I think they had, from what I can remember, Chick-fil-A. And as a kid, I really liked Chick-fil-A, and I think that was in Owings Mills Mall, I believe. I think. I'm trying to think what was in Owings Mills Mall. I know they had like a Fuddruckers, maybe. Was that in there? I'm trying to remember the food court at Owings Mills Mall. But I know they had a couple things I liked a little bit more, though. It was always a food thing with me. I remember I was always a little fat kid, so it was always food related. And to me, landmarkers in life still are food places. So like I remember where things are by, oh yeah, there's a McDonald's there, or oh there's a Del Taco there. That's like literally, to me, that's like how I remember everything. Is, oh, there's the food thing that's next to it. Let's see. Do you think you will get a chance? We'll get a new Friday the 13th anytime soon. I know there have been a lot of issues with the rights and stuff like that on those films, so it's kind of been something that's been a back and forth kind of issue. So if they ever can get everything fully resolved, I feel like we're going to get one. And I think that I would imagine like a company like Blumhouse taking over Friday the 13th, and then if they do it, they'll probably try and do something like they did, with the new Halloween films, where they try and connect it to the original movie. And I could see them doing something like that, where they try and make like a direct. I feel like me saying this now is putting the idea out there, and now they're gonna do it, and basically do like a direct sequel to it. But I honestly, if you ask me, I would rather see a direct remake to Friday the 13th and make it at summer camp. But instead of having it be the mother, I would change it around and have it be Jason. And that's what I think. Or, know it's going to be the mother, like everybody knows, but find a really, really weird person to play the mother. Like, or get somebody really unexpected like Glenn Close to do it. And I think somebody like Glenn Close maybe would do it. I honestly think she would nowadays. If they paid her the right amount of money, she would be a pretty good mother in the Friday the 13th. If they did like a direct remake, I think that would be kind of cool. But I think they definitely, if they do another, Friday the 13th, though, they definitely need to have it be at the camp again. I think the lack of summer camp setting really hurts those movies. Oh my God, someone just gave $100 super chat on here. So Burke Jones, you are a serious hero of the channel here. So thanks so much, Burke Jones, for a $100 super chat. He just says, "Don't have a question, I just want to help the channel." Well, thanks so much, Burke. I really appreciate that. Like that was really unexpected. I did not expecting that whatsoever. So, Bert, feel free to, like I said, ask questions underneath it here and stuff like that. So anything that you have, definitely, like I said, you're going to get good, answers to them. So feel free. For $100, you could have asked a really weird question too. So I appreciate it because I feel like if you gave $100, I would have had to have answered it. You know what I mean? Like even if it was really, really like, oh my God, why am I answering this question? But I appreciate that, Burke. So thanks so much. That's not unnoticed there. So I appreciate that. Let's see. I wish he had a question though. I wish he had a question for that kind of a donation. Let's see. Are you gonna record? Oh, wait a minute. Let's see. Also, when you were recorded while working at Spirit Halloween, did your managers even care, or did they not even know? What's kind of weird though was like, remember guys too, like I've been doing YouTube so long that people didn't even know what vlogging was in a sense. Like when I was doing that stuff, like that was, like I said, 2006, 2007, no one was really doing that. So it was kind of like when I was going around doing those early vlogs, it was sort of was like a not a thing. So the idea of filming in a store and that stuff, no one was even paying attention to it. It was kind of like, huh? Filming? So like literally, I don't think they paid any attention to it or even knew. And I honestly think at one point, from what I can remember, they saw me doing it. And I think I remember though, I originally called the videos working at Spirit Halloween, and then somebody from Spirit Halloween, I believe, commented under the videos though, and said like maybe a year later, you're not supposed to be shooting in the store or something like that. And like they probably thought I was going to take them down. I'm like, I'm not taking them down. This is like archival. You know what I mean? Let's see. That's like the same with me too. Like if I was in a store and I got like amazing footage and like I filmed the whole store, got all this kind of stuff, and then by the end of it, the guy told me, "Oh, you can't post that." I go home and post it right away. You know what I mean? Like I don't care. You know what I mean? Like what's he gonna do? You know what I mean? Like I just won't title the name of the store in the thing. I just will make sure there's literally no promotion for his store. Well, luckily enough, that's never happened. I've literally never had that happen before. I think I had it happen once though when I was like filming at a convention or something like that. It was really weird. And then I said to the guy, I was being really smart. This was a long time ago. I was like very fat. I think I said like, "Oh, be ready to be up online in a couple hours." I said something like that. YouTube, cool duder. And he's like, "What?" I said, "Get ready," because I think it was like a guy who had like crappy autographs. I think they were bootlegs or something like that. Something like that. I remember this was like 10 years ago. Let's see. Very cool idea, but let's not try to go in a chopping mall direction. I'll DM my number. Yeah, I don't want to do Chopping Mall. No, Chopping Mall is a Killer Robots one. Has anyone seen Count Ducula? Ducula or Ducula? I think I've seen that. Do you do you move around the country to film movies or stay mostly in California? Well, acting wise, I've acted in stuff all over the place. Like a lot of things in Texas. Like I did a lot of stuff, like Butcher's Bluff, Strix, Doctor Gift, Crave, Roots of Evil. I think Christmas Slasher was there. So yeah, there was a lot of stuff in Texas. So I did a lot of things there. I did that one movie I don't think is ever going to come out in Oklahoma, I think. Was it Oklahoma? That one I kind of like, what was that even called? I forgot. It was like that movie with Stormy Daniels. I like totally blanked out of that movie. I don't even know what it was called anymore or anything. Axe to Grind, that one. And then I filmed things in New Orleans, but for me, when it comes to stuff that I've done, it's all so far been in California. I did Amityville Karen in San Diego, so that was the one filmed near me. But then everything else has been in Burbank, Pasadena, kind of all in the main LA area. And I did act in something in Fresno, but I would love to do something. Like I said, I'd love to shoot something in Florida. I did. Assistant direct the Night of the Zomgos with Will Colazzo, and that was in Vegas. So I did do that in Vegas. I would like to do something else in Vegas as well, and I know a lot of people in Vegas and have a lot of people too that would definitely be able to help on a project in Vegas, so it wouldn't be a bad place to shoot. Let's see, thoughts on Avatar 2 coming in December? Yeah, I don't know about that. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I've never watched the other one. Yes, it's going to be smaller count for physical media. You should do a video talking about your favorite movies that are so bad they're good. I know, like Troll 2 and Mobius or Morbius. Steelbook was sold out. Yeah, that seemed to sell out fast. Into the live chat we go, someone said. Let's see, I'm trying to make sure I don't miss anything here. To the live chat we go. I said that. Here in New Zealand in 2019, a chain of stores called the Warehouse Clearance off their Blu-rays for 99 cents. Oh, their DVD for 99 cents and Blu-ray for $2. I bought so many movies. That's kind of what I did in Blockbuster. I know a lot of you guys did that as well. Like when Blockbuster was closing, at all the stores and stuff, like I went nuts. Like I remember they were like, I was finding all these locations where everything was $1, and I was just like, oh my god, I was going in totally crazy. Like now, I feel like if I went somewhere and things were that cheap, I would go ballistic. I don't know. It's just like because you never find stuff like that anymore. And when I think back to some of the stuff that Blockbuster had for $1, they had some really good stuff, and like stuff now that's out of print and like really rare releases and stuff. So it's kind of crazy. All these things that nobody wanted, a lot of those like more obscure horror movies and stuff like that, are the ones that now are really valuable because a lot of those companies are totally out of business because there was like ones like was it like Phase 4 Media was like a company that had a lot of smaller stuff, like Entertainment One. They're not around the same way anymore, so a lot of their stuff is very valuable. So it's funny, like a lot of those Asylum releases are kind of rare. It's just strange to think that. Let's see, what time is it in your state? Right now it's 8:51. Have you ever thought about connecting with Mark Hamill and Margaret Robbie and directing a Joker and Harley Quinn movie? If I ever had the opportunity, I'd definitely do that. How did you leave things off with Brendan? Things are fine. Like I talk to him now, on Facebook and like send him audio messages and stuff like that. And things are definitely way better. And, and we really didn't have any real problems. It was kind of like we had that sort of thing that happened. Like we kind of stopped talking, and then like everything happened in the world, and then that kind of really was no chance to reconnect. But I'm probably going to be seeing him at a lot of conventions and stuff coming up, or I know I will and stuff. So, and he's probably going to do the next movie and everything. So everything's fine. Like I guess the way I am now too is I really, really don't like a lot of negativity, and I don't like disagreements with people and problems and stuff. And there are two people particularly though that I never ever ever will get along with, and I never want anything to do with again. People involved in screenplay murder, and I'm not afraid to say that. I mean, like those particular two people, no way. I never want anything to do with them again the rest of my life. But anyway, other than them, anyone else, I have no problem with. Like anybody, like if there's any kind of scuffle with or disagreement, like I really would love to repair all that stuff, and that's kind of my goal. That's why like I'm glad that things are okay with me and Brendan, because I don't like negativity, and me and Brendan do the same type of stuff where we have similar interests in everything, and so it's like, why would we not get along? You know what I mean? That's kind of the way I see it too. And the thing is, we were friends for such a long time. I mean, like so long. I mean, like since like 2006 or something. It was a very long time. Let's see, I want to direct and I'm already 30, I'm stuck. Well, just try and do it. I mean, like, I would try and, get a camera. You can get a Blackmagic for like $1,500. You get the lens for it, get like a $300 lens. Save up for that, or find a friend of yours, or find someone that has a Blackmagic that could come and be the DP, and you could try and put together like an Indiegogo and do like a small goal of like $2,000 or $3,000, and just put together a very small project. And that's what basically you would be able to find a lot of actors that would want to work for free. You know what I mean? Especially since it's your first project, and they know that you're not like profiting off of them or something like that, and they see that this is like a goal of yours to do. So I think you do okay, and then reach out to your family members and tell them what you want to do, and see if maybe they'd like to invest in the project and maybe come on as a producer for a couple $100 and help out. I mean, like honestly, there's no reason why it's not worth trying. You know what I mean? That's the way I see it. What is the best tasting food to eat if I'm trying to be more health conscious? I would say like a lot of Mexican food you can get for that's very healthy, like shrimp, and like you can get the smaller street tacos and stuff like that. Just like you don't want to get stuff that's high fat. You don't want to put a lot of like mayo on things and stuff like that. But like anything that's like flavorful, like I said, Mexican food, Italian food. But you want to like you could get like if you want to try and watch the calories of like noodles, you could get the zucchini pasta and stuff like that. But like to me, like you wouldn't want to get like just real plain stuff. You know what I mean? Like, but certain things though you can get healthy options of a lot of other Mexican food and Italian food and things like that. They had an animatronic back then. Do you know how to speak French? No, I don't know how to speak any languages. Their products were also more detailed back then. They also jack up the prices now. Yeah, you're right about that. They definitely did have more detail to the costumes. I think the costumes, they weren't licensed as much, but they were better quality. Nowadays they're much more like very cheaply produced stuff. Do you have more movies you're working on after this current one? Yeah, the mistletoe one is the current one we just finished doing, but we have a bunch of stuff planned. So there's a lot of stuff me and Lauren are planning. We're kind of like in the deciding factor now on what is going to 100% be the next one, but there's a lot of different things. Let's see. Working in retail is my version of hell, and yet it's all I'm qualified for. No, I know it's a pain. It's all about finding though if you do work in retail though, like the kind of job in retail that you do like or a position in it that you like. If it's like a manager area, or if it's a video store, or if it's like if you're working in a craft store, so, something that you have like an interest in too. It's a lot better, I think, than if it's like you're doing something retail where you have zero passion whatsoever for it. Because like nowadays, I noticed too, like when you go in like Walmart and stuff, if you like ask a question about where something is or you need help, like back in the day, I don't know what's happened lately. It's like I felt like people would try and help, but I feel like now 90% of the time it's like really sad. It's gotten to the point where you ask and people are just like, I don't know, and then they just throw their hands up and walk away. They don't go, let me see if I can find somebody, let me look on the computer, let me do this. No, it's just, I don't know. And it's like happens all the time now. It's a weird thing that I've noticed. Let's see, the Emmy manager seems very strict. I always ran into very strict managers. Like even the managers that I had at Regal Cinema, the movie theater that I worked at, I remember like the one guy, like everyone was okay. And then there's this one guy that started working there. And when he got wind of like the YouTube channel, and then we kind of had a small degree of popularity back then. Like Don and Murph used to get a lot of views. I remember like some of them would get like 50, 60,000 views and stuff like that. I don't even know how they were getting that many views, but I remember they were like every so often they got like attention. And I remember too, especially some of the Joe Franz vlogs would get a lot of views. And like the manager really took notice of all that and was like got very jealous and weird, and then like all of a sudden started not liking me, and then not wanting me to have time off basically I used to always have off Fridays. It was like ever since I started working at the job, it was always like in the description. They hired me with that, knowing okay I was not going to work Fridays, so I did the videos then. Basically my other job was YouTube, and on Fridays that was the only day I said I cannot work. And they knew that. But then the second, that guy that started working there, John, that manager, like then I remember he was all, oh my God, and he didn't like the videos and all this stuff, and then all of a sudden he hated me, and then we never got passes anymore. And I remember like then I think a month later I found out that I was going to be moving, and then I quit. And I think he thought I quit because of him. So I think he always kind of thought that. It was like, no, it was I quit because we were leaving. Let's see, have you ever seen Disney's A Christmas Carol or Mars Needs Moms? I've seen both of those ones. Love your look at life at this point in your life. Hope you've come a long way. Well, thanks so much, Don. The Your movie, let's see, the power structure is real. The Duder at night. Working in retail, I talked about that. Yeah, the sales are great to go to Halloween shopping because you get so many great deals. I know, especially for like movies and stuff like that, I can find some really good props and everything. Like it was so difficult for me and Lauren though on Mistletoe Massacre with getting props, like because we were getting we were getting everything in January and right after Christmas, or in February and March and stuff like that. So it was kind of like we missed all the sales and everything for mistletoe. So it was kind of like it was so much money to get these things, and then we were going around to like these thrift shops, and then luckily enough, people in the neighborhood threw stuff away, so we got some lights and stuff like that way. But oh man, it is tough. So now I know, like, anytime I can like get stuff, if it's like an Easter sale or whatever, like if it looks interesting and it's like at Michael's has it, just buy it, have it in a bin, and maybe you can use it for a future movie. And that's kind of like what I'm trying to do now and stuff like that. Like we had so many props and stuff in the last movie, we had to hire a production designer to help set dress things, because we literally had so much stuff. I mean, oh my God. Like when you guys see Mistletoe, I that's the one thing I'm proud of, is like, I feel like we did a really, really good job with making it really feel like it's Christmas, because there's like, I mean, like when I look at the studio that we shot at, I'm like, wow, the people that we had helping do all the work and stuff, they really made that look like it was somewhere else. Because I've seen so many movies where you just really go, okay, that's Envision 8 Studios, and you know right away that's the same studios and everything. And I feel like nowadays too, it's like it's seen so much in movies and everything. I even saw like a bigger studio movie. I saw a trailer for it. I'm like, my God, they shot a scene for this bigger movie in Envision 8 Studios. It was kind of funny. But let's see, I see a $2 super chat here that's from Video Noob here, Video Knob. So it's Video GNOB, and they said, would you direct a non-horror movie? Yeah, I would I would like to do like a horror, like a comedy, more of a comedy film. I definitely would like to do a spoof film too. Like my total dream is to do a movie like a scary movie. Like I would love to parody, like a total parody or an epic movie type thing. More in the scary movie sense though, because the epic movies was not that great. I feel like epic movie though, I watched that movie again recently, and I watched the uncut R-rated version, and it was at least half better movie that way. I feel like, I think that the problem with those movies where they cut them down to be PG-13 and they were censored up so much, and they were really meant to be R-rated films. But like that's like my total goal is to do a comedy. It's like a straightforward comedy and a spoof comedy. Let's see. How's Dweebo doing? Haven't seen him in a while. He's been doing good. We just went out today to a couple of stores and stuff like that. Chick from Drop Dead Fred. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, why am I blanking on her name on Drop Dead Fred? Why am I dead? Phoebe Cates. Like, why am I ranking on Phoebe Cates? Yeah, Phoebe Cates would be amazing to work with. Like, she totally retired, though. So it's like, I think that's totally impossible. Let's see. Your employee discounts helps out a lot. Yeah, that's the one thing that's good with employee discounts. Need an Orlando connection? Hit me up. I'm entertainment deeply connected. Okay, John. Definitely, John. Yeah, if we do anything out in Orlando or out there, that would be definitely great. I know the guy that we've used for the cinematographer on Shark House. He's out in Orlando too. So yeah, I would love to. I love Disney too. So if I went out there too, I would definitely have to go to at least Disney World and at least Universal. I would, to me, it would be nearly impossible for me to go out there and not do that, just because of the way I am. Do a remake of the film The Cage Girl with Laura. No, I would not subject Laura to having to do the remake of The Cage Girl. No way. I'm not putting her through that. Been a fan since 2008. My brother always said, you and I look alike with our long hair. I wish to be a filmmaker just like you. Oh, yeah, I have to look at a picture of Dean. I know you're not going to say, but your clues make me think Jennifer Connelly would be awesome. Yeah, Jennifer Connelly would be amazing. Sorry, the broadcast will be closed for repair for an hour. Please give us your password and email for authentication. So it's some. I just finished watching Brain Scan featuring Eddie Furlong. I would love to work with Eddie Furlong. Like, I know he's going to be at the the Hollywood show, and I feel like going there and like talking to him about the movies. And it's like, I don't know. I think he'd do it though, because I'm seeing him popping up and stuff lately. So like, he's somebody that I really would like have like a dream to get in the next one. I want to direct Friday the 13th based on the 80s. Can I have a payment plan for the next lead role? Yeah, well, I don't know. The thing is, like, the problem is, like, if when it comes to the money for these films, it's like, it's here and it's gone. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's the thing that's so crazy. Like, a lot of people don't realize, like, when, what you raise on, like, Indiegogo for, like, Mistletoe. basically we have it, but then within 2 weeks after the movie's done, it's all gone. You know what I mean? Because it's all dispersed, the cast, the crew, everybody. So it's like, that's the thing that's it's so crazy about the movies. And like, then I was like looking at like the receipts, and I'm like, oh my god, on Mistletoe, the one day we spent like over $260 on Burger King. You know what I mean? I'm like, oh my god, like I hopefully never again in my life do I spend over $250 on Burger King. And it was just like but it was Burger King for 50 people, so it was just like, oh, so much money. Let's see. That's the one thing too. When it comes to films, the most difficult thing I think is just finding the best way to do the food, and the most cost efficient way, and the best way too, where people are not stuck eating the same stuff all the time too. Because I don't want people to have to eat Del Taco every day. Me though, it's weird. I'm so weird on the film set when I have a hard time actually like eating a lot of the time, because I'm like usually stressed. So like a lot of times I forget to eat, or like I have to just have like little like tiny little snack things I'm eating, and that's kind of like all I'm really eating. Let's see. Did you order 4K drive? I got a review copy of that, the standard 4K one, not the other one though. Take him up on his offer, Burke. Ask him a really wacky question. Consider. Let's see. Where is this? I need an Orlando. I talked about that. Your classic around the town videos will become a time capsule for another place in time, malls, record stores. Yeah, that's the thing that's cool though, is like I mentioned on the last live stream, definitely check out the around the town videos if you guys have a chance, like the old ones from like 2008, 9, and 10, because like it's like I said, like he was saying, it's a total time capsule, because we were filming stuff before people were really doing this stuff. So we shot like in Target back then, and Walmart, and I think there's some video. One of them has some footage from Circuit City. I know we had some footage in Borders Books. So it's kind of like really rare footage of these malls that no one really filmed, because like I said, no one was doing this. So I'm so glad that I filmed this stuff back in the day. It's like, if I didn't, who would have? YouTube took almost $30 of that super chat. Oh yeah, that's the one thing that sucks though, is with super chats or anything through YouTube or anything like that, they take percentage of it. Even like, but the thing is, I understand that's how it works, because even like on crowdfunding and everything, like on the crowdfunding websites, they take a percentage of like, I don't know what it is, like 5% or something like that, for using their platforms. Do you remember Horrified back in the day? The costume contest used to be standing room only, and sometimes people couldn't even get in. The energy was crazy. Yeah, that's, I always talk to, anytime I'm at a convention and Ken Foray is at it, I always just go up to him and just talk to him about Horrified. And he loves talking about Horrified. Like he always says how that was his favorite convention of all time. I remember he was telling me like the owner was such a cool guy, and he passed away a number of years ago. It was like once he died, that was the end of the convention. But it was an amazing convention. Like if Horrified was still going to this day, I would definitely fly back to Maryland for it, because it was a great convention, and I think I would love to have gotten to document it more, because I have some video of it, but I wish I could have gone to it more and everything, because I know it went on a little bit, I think, after I moved, maybe a few years, and I didn't go back. But what's kind of cool though is, if you go to Monster Mania, the Monster Mania convention, they have it in the same location where Horrifying was held in Hunt Valley. So it's kind of like if I look at videos of it, it's kind of like a weird throwback and stuff. So I someday kind of want to go to Monster Mania at the Horrifying, at that location in Hunt Valley. It's like a weird kind of tribute throwback. But that was a great convention. And then the thing I remember too about Horrifying was, it was like, the thing that was always fun too was just to stand outside, at night, basically from like 8 o'clock on, because all the celebrities would just stand outside and drink and hang out. So I remember like Danny Trejo was out there just talking to people, shaking hands. You'd see like Udo Kier out there at the bar drunk. I mean, it was interesting. That was definitely the most interesting of all the horror conventions. Let's see. It's good thing you kept your Old Spirit Halloween videos. We don't have too much footage of the stores back in the day. No, it's true. There's like next to nothing when you really think about it. You, Brendan, and Danny have been there a long time. Much respect for you all. Thanks. No, thanks. What time is it in your state? I think I answered that already, but it's 9:09. The links I have posted are work prints I have found. Okay, cool. Love your channel. Just finished Brain Scan starring Edward Furlong. Have you seen it? I love that movie. I'm also stoked to see your performance in Ariel Shark House. Pretty sure that the title of the movie, also the other 5 movies you're involved with. No, that's as far as I know. I don't think the distributor is going to change the title. I think it's going to stick with Amityville Shark House, and then people, I think everyone seems interested in with that title because they're like, "What the hell is the Amityville Shark House?" So I definitely, I'm interested in. I can't wait for people to see it. I really can't. Are you attending San Diego Comic Con 2022? Yeah, no, I'm going to be going to that next month. Do you support LGBTQ? Definitely, and like I said, all my movies too are very inclusive, and all that is very important to me. Good to see you, healthy, Sean. Been a fan since 2008. Are you a popular American actor? I don't think so. I think I'm sort of like an up and coming horror guy. You know what I mean? Like indie horror director that might get something mainstream. You know what I mean? I think that more like that. Like to me, I feel like I'm much prouder, honestly, of getting to do the movies than I am of YouTube. Like, I'm kind of I'm glad in many ways that I don't have my only legacy in life of YouTube. I don't know how to explain it. Like, and I know I did acting and stuff like that too. But I'm just glad though that I was able to do other stuff too, because I wouldn't want to just be like, all I did in my whole life is only YouTube. I'm glad that now, like, I'm getting my craziness of these movies and trying to, and my weird sense of humor and everything, and getting to kind of like expose the world to it in a sense. Because like the thing is too, all these movies, especially a movie like Shark House, those are ones that are going to do really well internationally. So it's like, it's going to be really weird that the thought of me like dubbed over as like in my Sharkman bandages and stuff, and somebody doing my voice and trying to do that weird. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do it. It's going to be really interesting to see. Let's see. Good to see you, healthy, Sean. Been a fan since 2008. Well, thanks so much, Steve, for watching so long. Let's see. When do you watch movies? Usually at night. That's when I watch them. Absolutely don't invite negativity in your life. No, I know. I tried my best to keep negativity out. Hey, Duder, have you ever been in a movie that didn't get abysmal reviews? Regardless of what movie would you tell a complete stranger to see first? I don't know if any of them have never ever not gotten bad reviews. I mean, like, I think I feel like the one movie that I was in that got good reviews, but I'm only in it for like a second, and I'm like talking. I think I was saying like, oh, she was throwing up, or she was, I don't know what, I can't remember what it was, but it was a movie, an Addison Tamlin movie called Like Me, and that movie got really really good reviews. Like that was one of those movies when the director asked me to shoot something for it, and I knew it was like the production company behind it, and like I'm a big fan of like the people doing it. I'm like thinking they want me to film something for this. So I remember that was the first time I felt like a little like nervous, because to me it was, like I said, it was just a bigger, I don't know how to explain it. But the person who's in it though, I'll read you guys the cast. But it was Addison Timlin and Larry Fessenden. And Larry Fessenden, if you guys know like indie horror films and like weird horror films and stuff like that, Larry Fessenden, and he's been like produced like House of the Devil. Like basically he's somebody that I dream to get to make a movie for. Like he would be a dream producer and stuff like that. So like to me, to be asked to do that was a cool movie. But looking at like the stuff that I've done, that's not like considered a bad movie, I think Girls Gone Dead, I know, definitely got a decent reaction, and I would probably say that. And I think out of everything that I've done, you know what I mean? Like I feel like the one that I'm going to be the most proud of is definitely going to be Bigfoot, and then I feel like Mistletoe. I feel like Mistletoe is going to. I think Mistletoe is going to be a lot of editing work, because we overshot Mistletoe. Like I think in Mistletoe, if we used all the footage in that, everything that we had, I bet that movie would be over 3 hours long, like maybe longer. I mean, because we had 2 cameras. So that was the first time I ever shot with 2 cameras, and now I would never shoot without 2. Like 100%. Since we do so much improv, I would only ever do 2 for the rest of my life now, and down the line 3, because it's even easier, because then you get wide and both the close-ups that way. But I would definitely do it like that. But no, but I think that was probably though the best movie. And then the other one too, Dead Ant was also one that got really good reviews, I think. I think that a lot of people like that. And then Grave Encounters 2 people liked. I was only in the very beginning of that too. Dead Ant, I'm in there. I have some lines, and I get killed in the porta potty. That was a fun experience. That was too. That movie, if I didn't have that experience, I don't think I would have continued acting, because at that point in time, I had lost all the weight. I just lost the weight, and I was thinking, like, I didn't know if I was going to be able to do it anymore, and I didn't know if I was going to be able to act anymore. I was kind of, because I was always this big fat guy, and I was like, okay, was I always cast just because I was heavy? And I remember when I went to do Dead Ant, I did this scene getting killed in the porta potty, and I was real crazy, screaming and everything. And a lot of it didn't end up in the movie because they didn't end up using the digital effect. They couldn't get it finished in time, so they had to change something with it. So there was all this stuff they had of poop hitting me in the face and all this stuff. But when when I was done shooting the scene, all the background extras that were there and stuff like that, that were watching me film and stuff like that, they all cheered and like were clapping, and the director was like, "Wow, Tom Arnold didn't even get a reaction like that." And I was like, when that happened, I was like, okay, I can still do this. And that's one of those like thank God moments where if I did not have that experience, I'm telling you, I would not have continued. I would not be acting now. And then the other moment like that too, I owe everything to William Butler, because William Butler, at a very low moment for me, got me involved in the Ouija's, and that was like that was really for Full Moon. And if you guys know me, like a huge fan of Full Moon. Like I dream to get to work with Full Moon again. Like and direct for them would be a dream, because I know I could do their stuff with their budgets, but that was a time too when I was really depressed, and I felt like I wasn't getting a lot of acting stuff, and I didn't know, how to I don't know, it wasn't doing a lot. And then I remember getting that opportunity, and then they paid me really well to do it, and I just felt like, wow, I'm getting like flying me in to do this. They're paying for all my Ubers and everything and all this. I was like, okay. And it was like I could do this again, and it lit a fire into my ass. And then after that, I started reaching out to people and going after directors, and I kept on working. And then it was like, and then I, started getting in a ton of things in 2020, like 2020. That's what things so crazy is, during all the stuff that was going on in the world, I did more acting than I ever had done. But now I'm really glad that I've positioned into doing my own stuff. I'm really glad the way I'm doing it now. I think it's like, and I definitely will keep acting in other people's stuff, of course. But I know that when some of this stuff releases, I'm gonna get better opportunities acting wise, because I feel like I've finally gotten a chance to prove that I can act a little bit, because I don't think I got to do that a lot in the movies that I've done. Besides like Ghostquake, I don't think I really ever got to show much motion or anything. Let's see. Last year, working at Spirit Halloween, a lot of staff didn't come to all stores because of how bad shipment delays were last year. I know there's a lot of stuff like that. Let's see. People are overworked and undertrained. Camera be a good camera to make a movie. Can't believe I finally caught you live and subscribed to you for a decade nearly. It's so cool to see how your career has progressed. Well, thanks so much for watching for so long and everything. I think I know you're trying to see. Actually know your Instagram, I believe. I think you're on Instagram as well. I have a very like weird with like faces and stuff like that, and if I've seen like a face once, I like remember it forever. It's very, very strange. When is Pig Boy Ain't No Babe is gonna come out? I don't think they ever made that movie. That's one of those movies that they like talked about making for like eons now, and it never happened. At least though, everything with me, the movies that I'm doing, at least I'm doing them. Like at least like I'm not like announcing something and then I never do it. Like I'm trying to make sure, I'm not doing that. Are you planning to write and direct a Western movie? Maybe. Like if somebody wanted it and and I knew that I'd have a budget to work with, I'd try something. I'd like it to be horror though, something Western horror related. I once got 2 movies from Dollar Tree. They were Charlie Bartlett and Things I Do for Money. Are you working with Lauren on all the movies now? Yeah, that's the plan. Like me and Lauren are definitely planning to do a lot of directing together and a lot of stuff. And I really love acting with Lauren too. So, even if there's times we're not directing together, I definitely know there'll be other projects as well in the future where we'll be acting together and stuff like that too. Let's see. I see UFOs in my life a lot of them 110 times. We've seen UFOs more than 10 times. Need an Orlando connection, hit me up. Do you like Chris Lambrento's movies? I don't know if I've seen those movies. After you got fired from Spirit Halloween, did you ever go back to the store to visit? I did. I think I went back like a week or two later and just walked around there. And I just kind of felt like, well, I could do it. You know what I mean? Like, why not? I don't work here. It's not like they told me I can't come back. But we definitely did walk back in there at least once. And then, like, but what was so crazy was before I got fired, I remember the manager was like saying stuff like, "Oh, Sean, next time around, would you like to be a manager like me?" And and he was like actually going to have me be like a manager there, and because I was doing so good, that's why it's so crazy. Can you name three highest grossing horror franchises? Probably Night of the Living Dead. Probably Friday the 13th, Halloween, and then I Saw maybe. The first video I saw from yours was your Scary Movie 5 review from years ago. What's up? Have seen the new Blu-ray of Phantom of the Mall yet? I have that one. Yeah, I love that movie. What's your favorite horror movie? I don't know. I have such a hard time saying for sure on the favorite one. Oh my God, no. Disney. I have worked with Universal Studios a lot. Hear any updates on Giuseppe Andrews? Sad, what happened to him? Well, like reading about it, Stephen, like I saw like some people were saying that he's like in the nut house and stuff like that. And it's like, I don't know if that's true. And it's kind of like what happened to the kid from Jingle All the Way, where he got like basically just trapped and they locked him away, and that's like a scary thing to think about. Like to me, that's like a worse fear. Like the idea of like losing your rights and getting locked away in a nut house for like forever and not being able to leave. It's like total girl interrupted. I see a $2 super chat here from Mark B. He says, will you watch the Winnie the Pooh horror movie? I definitely will. I'm actually friends with the guys that made it. So, like, I know them. And I've shot stuff for some of their movies. I wish they asked me to film something for that movie. You know what I mean? Like, that would have boosted my IMDb score rating through the roof. Oh, my God. You know what I mean? Like, and when I think about it, because that movie was number 1 on IMDb, the Winnie the Pooh horror movie. So anybody in that, they would have looked them all up, and then my name would have been in the cast, high on the list because of the star rating that I had as it is. So everyone would have probably clicked my name first. So I just think about that. I'm like, my God, I bet my star rating on IMDb would have been like in the top 100. For like a day. It would have been like Naomi Grossman stuff. It would have been insane. So it's like, that's the only thing. I have to think about a movie like that will get that kind of attention. Because, to have a movie go in the top 10 like that on IMDb, and that many people were looking it up, that means like a million people were looking up that movie. It's insane. And I see a $20 super chat here from Daniel Solero. So it's SOLORIO. Thanks so much, Daniel, for the $20 super chat. He didn't ask any questions or anything like that. So, Daniel, definitely, if you have any questions, though, put them in in there and put like, I don't make sure I don't miss them. So feel free to ask anything. But thanks so much, guys, who have given these big super chats and stuff. I really appreciate that, and the support like that is amazing, guys. So thanks so much. And like I said, it's believe me, I really appreciate it. So thanks so much. And like I said, Daniel, definitely feel free to ask anything question wise. Let's see. Do you know the Fluffy Gamer? Yeah, I know the Fluffy Gamer. Hopefully I can, like, he's like doesn't dislike me still, because like I said, I'm fine with Brendan, and I get along with OGP and everything, so I have no problem with Fluffy Gamer. Let's see. Would you say First Blood is the best action film ever? I think so. I think out of all of them, out of all the action films and everything, I would say that one, and then probably Die Hard. Maybe, but the thing is though, Die Hard, First Blood's a little bit kind of sad in a way, because it's like, the way that a veteran was getting treated and stuff, and it was more of a metaphor for what was going on back then in a sense. So it's one of those movies that's, I feel like, a sadder movie. So I feel like Die Hard, though, is a more fun movie to watch. So I think you could probably watch, if you're gonna watch between both those movies more, you would watch Die Hard, I think. So I think in a sense Die Hard is a more fun action movie, but I do agree though that First Blood probably is one of the best ones though. Let's see. Let's see. I love your around the town videos. They are relaxing and funny. It's cool to see how different the world was. I know that's what's so cool is like, but the thing that's so crazy too is you see how different the world is too in a lot of these old movies too. When you watch the comedies and you see what flies, joke wise and stuff. It's crazy to think. You know what I mean? Like how different things are, and then like. I don't like though some of the censorship with comedy nowadays because I feel like it's a little scary because like I feel like to me like I feel like the real joy in life for a lot of people is comedy, and I always find like weird kind of out there humor funny, and I feel like everyone just has to be able to laugh at themselves in a sense because it's like I know from being a fat guy and stuff, it's like I always felt better being able to laugh at myself because it's like if you can't see the humor in certain things, or if you have like something that you're not happy with, or an ailment or something, I feel like you got to find a way to see humor in it and be able to laugh at yourself. And I think that too, when you see like a lot of people that do have a malady or something that's an ailment or something, and they're like comedians and stuff, they always in their act if you look at like America's Got Talent, they kind of incorporate that and make a big thing about that, and they like make jokes about it. But then it's weird though, they can make the joke, but if other people do, in a sense, it's not allowed. But then the people that are supposed to be offended by the joke are not offended by the joke. It's a weird sort of thing. If when you really notice about comedy nowadays, usually the person that's offended by it is not the person that's supposed to be offended by the joke, or what you would think would be. And so often it's like, it's a big weird thing. And I study that nowadays too. I pay attention to that and like what's flying and what isn't, and all the PC things and everything. It's interesting. You got to pay attention to it, especially with the movies, because I'm aware that some of the times, if anything is too outlandish or peculiar, it's going to get dubbed over or taken out. You know what I mean? Like, it's just a strange time. It definitely is. Let's see. Hey, cool duder. Maybe you don't want to give the stance on it, just don't want to be judged. Do you ever talk that Victor guy that was in some of your videos? Oh, you mean Victor Accord? Yeah, I haven't talked to him in a long time. He used to have a YouTube channel too, and he did these ones called, Phil Fingerbottom candy review videos, and I like those kind of videos, and they were like these weird ones when he like tried different types of weird candies, and like the time when he was doing them, no one was really doing those kind of videos, and nowadays they became like the popular and the norm. But like, he did them like early on and stuff like that. But no, I'd love to go back to Maryland at some point and like see like Victor and some of these people again. It'd be interesting to see people like after like a huge gap of time, and some people too. It's like if you don't see them for a long time, it's like you never not stop seeing them. You know what I mean? It's weird. Like there's certain people like that, and I feel like if I saw Victor, that's how it would be. I know if I saw AMJ again, it would be like that. Like it would almost be like I saw him one day ago. That's how it was with seeing Brendan when I saw Wet Movie. I hadn't seen him in like 3 years or something like that, and it was like I just saw him yesterday. It's very strange. Let's see. Any thoughts on The Perfect Weapon? I don't know if I've seen that one. Or is there more than a few movies I like to see? What's up? Did you pick up the new Blu-ray Fan in the mall? I talked about that. Did you ever review Titan? Titan? I don't know. Watched Lantern's Lane recently, and I was so low budget, but actually very entertaining. Yeah, that's the thing. When it comes to some of these movies, I feel like nowadays it's not always about the budget as much as it's about the entertainment factor of the movie. I think like people now are accepting more so of smaller movies because they become the norm a little bit, especially streaming services now are taking slightly smaller movies than they used to. I've noticed like Netflix is now taking movies that are independently produced as opposed to Netflix. For a while, Netflix liked their originals to be movies that they were producing in-house. Now they're actually buying stuff more so, and it's like they have a lot of specifications to it though, but they are actually physically buying smaller movies. So I think that people are more accepting to smaller things now, and I think that it's, like I said, it's a lot about the content. If it's an interesting movie, it doesn't really matter if it's a small film. What are your thoughts on Disturbia? I like that movie. I remember like that was early on. There was a thing called Google Current, which was like a TV channel, and it was on. I think I even had it. It was on like Time Warner, and it was a lot of places had it. And I remember they did like a news story on people who reviewed the movie Disturbia, and they used all these clips of the Don and Murph one on there. And I actually have that clip up on I think it's on my Daily Motion channel. Let's see. Are you going to get the Halloween Ends Steelbook when it comes out? I'm sure I probably will. Let's see. Trying to make sure I don't miss any of these ones. Are you going to get... They talk about that. Chauncey, let me have some... Chan? What is that? I saw you in Dead Ant with the director at the Alameda Draft House in Winchester, Virginia. Oh, that's cool. You saw with Ron Carlson. He's a very nice guy, the director of Dead Ant. Let's see. What are your thoughts on Cop and a Half? That's in one of those movies where I haven't watched Cop and a Half in probably like 15 plus years. But as a kid, I mean, I watched it all the time. Like that as like a child, like that was like one of my favorite movies for some reason. There's certain things I just watch so often. I was hoping you and Coulter knew each other. The links you posted, are you getting Halloween Resurrections 4K edition? I don't know. Have you watched Mad God from Shudder? Stop motion animation. Have you ever thought about doing one? Stop motion would be cool. If I don't know anybody though that does stop motion. Like, I don't know. Because maybe I could do like an Indiegogo stop motion type horror movie. That'd be kind of cool. But I know it would be like really time consuming. I have to find. You'd have to have a group, like a team of people that were doing it and could get it done in like a year. You know what I mean? Like it'd be difficult. I feel like it would be easier almost if it was done as a flash animation maybe. Can you name a movie? Can you name a title that you're written that isn't in the works? Name a title that you've written that isn't in the works. I don't know if there's anything. I don't really want to name any of the titles, especially because I have two different Amityville ones that I want to do for sure. And like I didn't think I was going to. And then Lauren mentioned the thing, and then I was just thinking about it, and I'm like, yeah, I'd like to have an Amityville ones that I own with her, as opposed to having it with a company owning them. So I'm like, yeah, maybe I want to do that. So we're definitely considering that too. Let's see. Sorry if I came across as Wrecking Ball Durant. Let's see. I saw Durant Cinemas in here too. What's the worst film you've seen this year? Morbius is by accounting mile for me. Yeah, Morbius is good in a bad way. Do you know what I mean? Like I kind of consider Morbius to be like the new, Troll 2. Like that's in a strange way. Like someone says, completely wrong on the highest grossing. By the way, The Conjuring, Alien, and Resident Evil. Yeah, the new Conjuring wasn't that great, as good as the other one. The new Resident Evil I did not like either. But yeah, what else has been really bad? I'm trying to think of what else I didn't like that was this year. Like I can't offhand think of anything. Let's see. How you doing? Doing good, GM Music Man. Let's see. Have you ever seen a guy called Lee Castle on YouTube? He does claymation horror. It's definitely something you'd appreciate. Lee Hardcastle? No, I don't think I've seen Lee Hardcastle. Last Giuseppe Andrews was public was in 2012. Yeah, I saw some videos of him singing that were like from about a year or two ago, and he just seems very sad. You know what I mean? Like you can just tell, like, and I realized because I've done some tests and stuff that I'm not great sometimes at reading emotions correctly, but I don't know, it's the problem that I have because I did a test and I failed a lot of them. But looking at Giuseppe Andrews in those videos, you can be a judge too. I mean, I think he looks sad, so I don't know. I don't know. It's just depressing because Giuseppe Andrews to me is somebody that I consider to be a very big creative influence because it's like, especially because of what he's done and the way he put together these really wacky movies with people, and he worked with people that were non-actors, and he did his own music and was doing everything in it, and it was acting in it too, and I don't know, he was just someone that I thought was very creative, and it's sad that he just vanished the way he did, and if he did end up in the nut house, it's just depressing because he was great. You look at Cabin Fever. he steals that movie. I mean, like, Cabin Fever is a really good movie. I love that film. But if you did not have Giuseppe Andrews, that Deputy Winston character in Cabin Fever, it would not be the same movie. That movie would not be the same level of memorable. You would not remember that movie the same way, because when you think about Cabin Fever, most people think in their head, at least I do, the party man. Like, that's what you think, the party man. You know. So I don't know. He was very memorable. Find it kind of funny how your manager offended you to be a manager, yet he fired you for something that you didn't even do. I know, that's what's so crazy. He like fired me for something I didn't do at that job, yet he wanted me to be a manager like mere week or two before. Any thoughts on 30 Minutes or Less? Yeah, I saw that movie one time. I remember I saw that when I was acting in Haunted High. So I saw it like kind of in a weird frame of mind, because when I remember when I was doing Haunted High, that I never had so many lines in my life to think about. So like, because that was like the first time I was ever in a movie, and that was, it wasn't like any, like, see, my movies, the stuff that I do with Lauren, we do a lot of improv, and like I don't worry as much about what's on the page and have to stick to the script to a T or anything like that. But a movie like that, a Sci-Fi Channel movie, I had to stick to the script. They let me improvise certain moments. Like I talked about Bruce Willis in Die Hard. I talked about the Chasing Amy, the lesbian thing in Chasing Amy. That was all my thing. I improvised that entire thing. So there's certain moments in there that were mine. The gate reference was all mine, but most of that was all scripted. So there was times when there were scenes that went on for like 6 minutes. And I was like, I had to get down 6 pages of dialogue and figure this out and figure out the cues and stuff. So anything I did out there, no matter what, I had literally no, I wasn't paying attention to the surroundings or the world in New Orleans very well for that whole 3 weeks, because all I could think about was that movie, because it was so important to me to not fuck up. And I was so worried I was going to get fired. Like I remember like the first day, and I wasn't worried I was going to get fired because of the lines. I was worried I was going to get fired because I was losing my hair bad. So I remember, because I was playing a high schooler, and this was in 2011, and I could still, it was the age that I could do it, but because everyone else was my age playing the high schooler, but I was balding really bad. So I remember like I was doing everything I could to try and cover up my hair. But then luckily enough, I found out one of the other actors was spraying the stuff in their hair too. So I was like, oh, thank God I'm not the only one. But I remember like that was a really scary first like 3 days on that movie, because I was just so worried I was going to get fired. I'm like, I don't want to get fired. I'm like, am I ever going to get a chance like this again? You know what I mean? I was just so worried on that one. Let's see. Let's see. Did you get weird looks while working at the store after being fired? When I walked in there, yes, they definitely gave me weird looks. I remember. Just like when I left Regal Cinema and I went back I think once, they definitely looked at me really strange, like, oh, very surprised that I came back. Let's see, how long have I been live for now? I've been live for 1 hour and 36 minutes. So I'll be live on here for maybe close to 2 hours or so. So feel free, guys, to ask any questions you guys have. I guess I'll try for, 2 hours on here if I can. Let's see. So like I said, get in as many questions as you guys have for the last bit that I'm on here. Let's see. What are your favorite summer camp genre films? Probably, the one movie I don't like as much, because I don't like talking to the person as much anymore for one reason or another. So it's like kind of, those movies are kind of ruined in a way. Hey, dude, so I don't really want to talk about that right now. Let's see. I always have a lot of things I don't like talking about nowadays. Have you met Durant Cinema in person or just know him online? No, I never met Durant Cinema in person. I'd love to. Hopefully sometime too, he can come out and be in one of the movies. That'd be really cool if he came out and did like he does have a cameo though in Scream Bloody Murder. So whenever that goes on Tubi, you guys can see him on there. But so he is in that. But I'd love to get him in something else. If he came out here or something, that'd be really cool. Let's see. You watch Top Gun? I've not seen the new Top Gun. What made you fall in love with horror movies? I wish I could remember what was the first thing that I like really made me like horror movies. Like, I don't know what it was. It was just something about like that type of a film I like. I don't know what it is. Like I always think about the world too in a scary way too. I think about like, I don't know what it is. I just love horror movies. Like but I really do prefer horror comedies though. Like I like there to be a little bit of comedy in there. There are some movies that are straight horror that I do like The Changeling. That's very scary, But then I like stuff that are quirky ones, like Ravenous. Like if I could make any movie I would like to do, like if you say remake something, I think Ravenous would be an absolute dream to do, and I would like love to do that. Those costumes and all that. I don't know. That would be amazing. And I know who I'd play. I would definitely play David Arquette's character because he was kind of the out of place guy in that movie. So I'd probably be the David Arquette in that one. So I would only have to be in it a little bit, but I want to be in it. You know, so that would definitely be a dream kind of one to do. Someone says I'm pressing charges. So what are they pressing charges for? Let's see. What are your thoughts on Thinner? Thinner is a great movie. That's what I always think of too as a truly scary film because like somebody like me who was as heavy as I was, the idea of like losing weight and then it just doesn't stop is a scary concept though because it's like you're so heavy your whole life and then you're finally losing weight but then it won't stop and you basically becoming like dying. It's scary. It's like the total opposite. So let's see. Sorry if this is a repeated question, but how many movies are in your collection? I mean, I don't know, like, because honestly, though, I have movies in tubs, like storage tubs. I have, some binders that they're in. It's probably like 3,000 or 4,000 in binders that are like small, like kind of like weirdo stuff that I just kind of wanted to keep. What I do is I keep them in the case, and the DVD in the binder, and then I also keep the artwork with them. So that's a way to keep both of them. So I have them like that. So I have so many different things. So I feel like I have to, in total, if you counted every single DVD and Blu-ray that I owned in the entire house, there has to be close to 10,000. I feel like it has to be, at the lowest end, 7,000 at the lowest. But I think it's more closer to 10. I really do. Let's see. What actor would you most love to direct in a horror movie? I definitely want to get Bill Moseley, and I saw Bill Moseley like looking at me at the convention because I've talked to Bill Moseley a lot, and he saw the Karen shirt, and I remember Bill Moseley liked the Karen poster somewhere. I saw somebody reshared it or something, and he liked it. I remember, so I was wearing the shirt, and I saw him looking at it. So I'm sure Bill Moseley was probably thinking, why has he not asked me to be in these things? So like he's definitely somebody, I'd like to work with. I'd love to direct Bill Moseley. Danielle Harris, I definitely want to get Danielle Harris in the future. I'm trying to think of other horror people that would be really cool to get. Ken Foray would be amazing to get. Who else would be really cool? There would be somebody that I've not been able to get. That would be really good. I do really want to get Butch Patrick too. I really want to get Butch Patrick. I know who the number one is. I know, and I don't know why I haven't pulled it off yet because he's like me. We're like the same fucking person. Is Clint Howard? I mean, like I gotta get him as my father, or we gotta play a murdering team or something. I know I'd probably only be able to get him for like 2 days tops, but Clint Howard, I really got to get Clint Howard. Clint Howard is probably the number one. I feel like everyone should go to conventions and say, you should be in Quarters movies. I really do. I feel like we got to like, because I know he would do them. And it's just, and I know he's not unaffordable. I just need to make it happen. Every time I've tried to contact him, it's always been a peculiar, strange runaround for some reason. I don't know how to explain it, but it's been a strange one. Like, I love people, like certain so-and-so people that you can contact. I'm not telling you who, but literally I can message them, and somebody that you'd be like, what? You can just contact them on Facebook, and that's how I got them. But it's not simple for Clint Howard, though. Let's see. Ever talk to Max anymore? That dude was hilarious. No, I haven't talked to Max in a long time. Watch some of the Durant videos. He seems like a cool dude, but too much cuts and shaky cam in his videos, in my opinion. Gets a headache watching. Now, some people I know, like, he has a more of quick-paced videos. Like, I'm much more, like, low-key and, like I guess you'd say maybe low energy, I guess, a little bit in some ways. Like, I never do lots of quick editing and stuff like that. I don't know. I kind of like that old school kind of way of it. But no, I like his stuff though too. But I guess if you don't like quick cuts and like fast paced moving kind of videos, you wouldn't like him as much though. So I do know what you mean, because my stuff is definitely much more smaller, like lower key and stuff, the way it's done and everything. Let's see. He never bothered me. Predmator? who inspires you from when you're on set directing? Well, Giuseppe Andrews was somebody. Eli Roth, definitely. Jim Hoskins, who did The Greasy Strangler. He's definitely somebody. David Cronenberg, honestly, is a huge inspiration for if I have to do very dark themed stuff. I see things in his similar sense, Cronenberg style. Um, so I feel like those are a lot of inspirations. John Waters, very much so. And also very urban. I really, really, really love urban comedies like the stuff the Wayans brothers did and stuff like that. Like I said, the Scary Movie. And a lot of those, like I'm gonna get you, sucker, and all that. Like I like that. That's funny to me. That sense of humor, and I think that I very much my movies are going to have be very popular in the urban crowd and everything. I don't know, because I feel like that's my kind of humor. That's just I like what I like, and I have a certain type of humor. Let's see. Let's see. F, Mary, Kill, The Shining, Silence of the Lambs, or The Exorcist. So I've never done F, Mary, Kill of like movies. So if you were gonna F something, um, maybe the science. No, maybe like The Shining, maybe, and then kill maybe The Exorcist, because I don't really want that bad vibes of that. But then I want to marry Buffalo Bill, though. I don't know. That's a tough one. I don't know. Basic question, but I gotta know, cats or dogs. I like both, but definitely dogs, because I'm very allergic to cats. One thing I always think about is Hostel. Such an amazing concept, but so poorly executed. If you could rewrite it, would you be back to basic plot line? Yeah, that's the one thing about I like Hostel though, but I do know what you mean though, that it's an opportunity that was very much wasted. And Eli Roth too, he did some weird stuff in that movie where he was hyper focusing so much on the nudity in those scenes, and like trying to make it like, oh, we got a lot of nudity and that this is like kind of pervy and showing the sex side of it. And then okay, but then he didn't show enough. It was supposed to be a contrast that he was going for, where it was like the sexuality and the sex and all that, and then the violence and the death and stuff. And he didn't contrast them well enough in some senses, and he didn't show the dark side of the behind the scenes of like that you couldn't trust the people enough. I feel like he should have made it a little bit more. In the sequel, he tried that a little more, I thought, but in the first one, he definitely didn't do enough with making everybody seem shifty eye and untrustworthy. Like I said, there's some of that in there, but it needed more of that. And then when it came to the stuff with the torturing, that's where I really felt it fell apart the most, is because there was so much that they could have done with that, but they just didn't do enough. But I still do like it, though. I still really do like Hostel. But I do agree, though, that there was stuff in it that needed work. It could have been a much better movie. And, I would like to see another one, though, too. It would be interesting to see it again. Because I find that scary. I find that the idea of going to another country and going to the wrong area and getting kidnapped and tortured like that, to me, that's a scary concept. And that kind of stuff does happen. It happens more with people getting kidnapped into, like, the sex trade and stuff like that. But it happens a lot in America, which is not fun. It's scary. But it happens in other countries. It does happen to tourists. Let's see. If you flip your Apple charger behind you upside down, it will fit in your outlet property. What? Oh, you mean that Apple? Oh, the Apple charger that's over there. Oh, yes. Let's see. I think it's like that because there's the other outlet, the surge protector there. So I kind of like the surge protector to be on the bottom because I'm sort of weird. I think that might be why I did it like that. Thoughts on Bad Moon? Yeah, every time I think of Bad Moon, I think of Michael Perry, and I'm like, I was texting back and forth with Michael Perry about my Mistletoe, and I almost got him in the movie, and I'm like, and then I saw Jose Prendes got Michael Perry, and I'm like, man, I should get Michael Perry. It's a weird thing, guys. You don't know how weird it is to like be like texting back and forth with actors and like these celebrities and people that you've watched forever, and you don't know who to get, and you don't know who's the best person, and it's like a struggle. It's a struggle, and it really is. Let's see. What are your thoughts on King of the Hill being rebooted? I think I heard something about that. Like I'm interested in seeing that. Let's see. What comedy movies inspired you? What comedy movies like inspired for me? Like I said, like Scary Movie and stuff like that. Do you still talk to MJ? What he's up to? Like I talked about that. I don't know where he is now. Imagine being 40 and still living with your parents. Laugh out loud, how sad. Well, the thing is, I help my parents now. I'm not 40 now, but I help my parents a lot. So it's kind of, things have changed a little bit. How did you and Lauren start working together? Well, I met Lauren the first time back on a movie called Caesar and Otto's Deadly Christmas. And this was back in like, I have the video up, but I think it was 2012 or 2000, I think 2012 or 2013. And then we just kind of like just kind of talked a little bit, and then we kept in touch kind of on Instagram here and there. And then when I did the It parody, I asked her if she would do a little cameo, if she would shoot something for it. So she filmed a little thing for me for that. And then when I was putting together Scream Bloody Murder, I feel like I was trying to think of like, you know, people to put in the film and who would be really good to get. And I think just randomly I saw something of hers pop up on Instagram. And it was just like that. And I was like, oh, Lauren would be really, really good, you know, to be in the movie. And then, you know, I talked to her and I messaged her on, you know, on Instagram and asked her if she would do the movie. And she just said right away, definitely, I'd love to be involved. So I really was, you know, I had never had directed a feature before or anything. So I was really happy that she trusted me to do it and agreed to do everything. And basically from there, we did the Screen Bloody Murder. And then we didn't get to talk too much on that movie because it was kind of like hectic. And there was a lot of weird stuff going on behind the scenes on that set. So, but then when I was putting together Karen, I asked her if she would do that. And then we got along so well on Karen. And then on Bigfoot, we were acting together a lot. And then we had all these scenes together. And like we did really, the scenes were really good. Like some of the best stuff in Bigfoot is some of the stuff that we got to do. And then I loved working with her so much. And then we just keep working together. And then when the opportunity to do Wood Switch came along, I was like, I asked her if she would direct it with me. And then we had a great time directing the movie together. And then we did Mistletoe. And then from there, we just, you know, just going to keep doing more and more projects together. So that was pretty much how it happened. But we met like years ago, like over 10 years ago. Let's see. Any updates on going to Comic-Con? You have to get Clint Howard as your dad and play a creep. He scolds and badmouths you. I know, like, I am going to go on Comic-Con this year, but yeah, Clint Howard is amazing. He's somebody I've got to get. You know, he's got to be in a Cool Dude or Lauren Francesca movie. You know, he's like a total dream, you know what I mean, for me to get. So I just have to put that in the universe, and I have to, within 1 year from now, I have to set this goal of getting Clint Howard. You know, within a year from now, we'll have Clint Howard, we'll have gotten Jamie Kennedy in a movie, and, you know, there's just certain people that the goals are set, and we have to get these certain people within the next year. Let's see, have you seen a lot of episodes of Rick and Morty? I've not seen all of them. I have seen a handful of them, but not a lot of them, though. Which person you met at a convention have been the most starstruck by? It has to be Bruce Campbell for me. What a legend. Well, one of the ones that I got really starstruck for, I remember two. Well, honestly, I think Mina Savarni, because I remember like I got really nervous because like I always like kind of like liked her a lot, and then same with Christy Swanson, because I like always like really had this like weird sort of crush on her. So like I remember like meeting her was like weird for me. So like that, and then I interviewed her and everything. So I feel like that was the only time I really, really was like really starstruck. Other than that, I'm trying to think of who else was like really, really starstruck for me. I can't think of anybody else. I remember it was definitely surreal when I was doing Scream Bloody Murder, though, for me to be sitting down in the basement and like going over the scene with Tom Sizemore, because like if you guys know me, like I am absolutely obsessed with Natural Born Killers. Like I remember when I first saw that movie, that inspired me so much. I tried to make like things like that in that same style, where it was like mixed media and all these weird camera angles. So to me, like that is like the ultimate movie, especially for performances and acting and everything. Like, so that was a surreal thing to basically be working with him, and now to have gotten to work with him on 3 different things. And then like in Mistletoe, it's like how surreal and weird to have him playing like me and Lauren's father in the movie. It's just like some things that happen, I'm just like so odd, you know what I mean? Like things that I never would think, you know what I mean, a million years that like I get to do these kind of things. Let's see. What is your favorite Nickelodeon animated show? Probably Ren and Stimpy, I would say. Out of all of them, Ren and Stimpy is probably the top favorite, and then Rocco, then Rugrats, then Doug, probably in that order, and then SpongeBob. And then like Angry Chick, some of the other ones like Cat Dog would be on like maybe a little bit after those ones. I see a $10 super chat here from Carbonese. It's Carbine. The funniest video I ever saw with you is when Dweebo walks in on you in the train bathroom. So funny. Oh yeah, that one. So that was not a real walk-in. So what happened was that was the first time I remember. I think that was actually one of the very first times I ever went on a train out here when I first moved out to San Diego. So me and my brother were going to, and it's a convention that I don't think happens anymore out here. It was the Wizard World convention in Anaheim. And I remember I was on the train, and this is back when this was like 2011, I think. And I was at my ultimate heaviest. And I remember I had like a terrible Duke attack come at me. I had to go to the bathroom really bad. So I go down to the handicap bathroom because I was too big to go to the regular bathroom. I just would not fit in the stall. I mean, that's the tragedy of being as heavy as I was. So I had to go down there. So I remember I was in there, going to the bathroom, cleaning up after it, and somebody pulled the door open, which was locked. It was fully locked, but he jammed the door because he could tell it was locked, and he pulled it as hard as he could, jammed the door open, and walked in on me mid-wiping. So it was probably, and then the thing that was crazy is I never saw the guy again. But then me and my brother reenacted what happened. So that was why that was not the real thing though. You know what I mean? So yeah, that was a very gross, weird thing that happened. It puts the lotion on the skin. Nah, bro, you'd marry Jodie Foster. But yeah, but Jodie Foster is not interested in men, though. You know what I mean? I wouldn't want to have her have like a terrible, sad relationship and having to deal with me. You know what I mean? What is your favorite Nickelodeon anime? I talked about that. I just watched Treasure Chest of Horror on Tubi. Great collection. Oh, thanks for watching those ones. Yeah, those just went up on there like a month or two ago. They have it's Treasure Chest of Horrors 1, 2, and 3. And then the Theater of Deranged is, I believe, on there as well. So if you guys want to watch those, they have really, really early short films that I did on them. So just search on Tubi, Treasure Chest of Horrors. And there's 3 different ones, and then the Theater of Deranged one. The Theater of Deranged, that one has my dad and brother, I believe, in it in the beginning. And then I'd love to do another like anthology thing like that again. Like I want to put together a new thing kind of like that again, but like but a little higher budget and stuff like that. Have you met Michael Ironside? I don't think I ever have. I don't think he's ever been at any conventions or anything like that I've been to. He'd be somebody I'd love to get in a movie though. I think he's Canada based as far as I know. Don't bother reading late messages, Sean. They're not worth your time, bro. Okay, let's see. Are you based in California? Yes, I am in California. I'm in the San Diego area. Are you going to New York Comic Con also? I've never been there before. I need to figure out how to get the passes for New York and stuff like that out there, as far as I know. Let's see. What was that say shortly? No, excellent class. Just making sure this didn't go offline. So how long have I been on here now? I've been on an hour, almost 2 hours. So I guess I'm only going to be on here now for another like a few more minutes. So any last minute questions you guys have? Man, Christy Swanson would be sweet. Yeah, I'd like to get Christy Swanson in a movie, but the problem is that she's kind of like, certain people are kind of associated like sort of in a way that's Trump related, and that it kind of like it almost can become a political thing, and you just want to hire an actor. So it's like that's why you worry about like John Schneider and certain people that I know they would do the movie. But I just don't want to make anything political. I don't want anything I ever do to have like anything political or anything weird like that around it. I just want it to be like a fun movie to watch. Do you know what I mean? The Rodney Dangerfield sitcom scenes in Natural Born Killers is awesome. No, I love those scenes. Hello from Europe. Thanks so much for watching, Gina Com. What did your family leave Baltimore? basically, like when my mom's mom passed away, we pretty much, when my grandmother, passed away, we didn't have, any other real family left. That was pretty much all that was there. And my uncle had just passed away as well, and he was originally planning to move out here as well and get a place. So we kind of had that plan. So there was nothing to kind of tie us back. And my dad was always coming out to San Diego to go to Comic Con. That was kind of how he discovered the area. So it was like, and then we started coming out to go to conventions and stuff like that. And I would go to Comic Con as well, starting in 2005. And I loved it out here. So that's kind of why we did it. That was the main reason, but I'm really glad. I mean, like, I wouldn't be able to do what I'm doing at all if I was. I mean, not to the same degree. And I like where I am. I like the weather out here. I wouldn't want to be in the cold anymore and have to shovel or any of that kind of stuff. I got walked in on and they saw it all. I know. Have you met John Stamos? Well, John Stamos was there. The one day when I was at Disney, these kids were like saying stuff like, "Oh, Stamos, Stamos, over there, Stamos," and I wasn't paying any attention. So I was like, I thought these guys were just messing around or something. But John Stamos was like 5 feet away, and I for some reason didn't look. So he was there for some kind of an event or something. So yeah, technically I was at the same place as John Stamos, but I didn't pay attention. Um, Someone says, funny that you and Wetmore still live with your parents. That's why I asked. The thing is, a lot of people live with their parents. If you looked into it now, you'd be very, 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 very surprised. I mean, very surprised. You might even too. I mean, nowadays. Have you seen Being Tom Sizemore, a reality show of Tom Sizemore being addicted to crystal meth and basically crawling across the red carpet at rock bottom? Then his comeback film was called Bottom Feeder. I do remember that, but in a sense, I don't. I think I did see that back in the day, but let me tell you guys, I'm all about giving people other chances and not, holding on to the past for people. Do you know what I mean? Do you smoke weed? I don't talk about that too much, but yeah. Let's see. What are your thoughts on custom slipcovers to add to movies that originally did not come with a slipcover? I won't lie, I do kind of like that idea of custom slipcovers sometimes, because there's certain ones where I really wish that the movies did have a slipcover, like certain movies, or were there movies where like the first two films, if it's like a series of movies, they had slipcovers and then the third one doesn't. I think there was like one of the Conjuring movies that didn't have a slipcover, and you're just like on the shelf next to the other ones, you're like, damn it. You know what I mean? Like, I know it doesn't matter, but it's crazy to think, though, when I first got Blu-ray in the very, very beginning, I was like, I didn't care about slipcovers, and I didn't understand them, and I'm like, oh, I don't need these, and I would kind of throw them away at times, or I'd put them in a box and get rid of them. So it's like, it's so weird, though. So now I do kind of like slipcovers now a lot more than I used to. Have you seen the Nicolas Cage movies, Willy's Wonderland? I love it. What did you think? No, I like that. I actually helped Will Clazo, assistant directed one called Night of the Zomghouls, and it's kind of like a Willy's Wonderland type movie. It's about like these animatronics that get possessed by a killer that's dying, and he possesses them, and it's all filmed in Vegas at a kind of a Chuck E. Cheese kind of laser art tag place. It's going to be going on streaming and stuff soon, so hopefully it's soon you guys can watch it. I can't wait for you guys to see it, but it should be on, I think, Tubi and all that stuff pretty soon. But if you guys like Willy's Wonderland, and I'm like one of the main people in it, and it has Sadie Katz from, I think, was it Wrong Turn 6 she's in, and James Duvall is in it from Donnie Darko. Let's see, Joker 2 is coming out, but as a different Harley Quinn. I know, I saw that. I don't know. I hope you're doing well. I just hunted and killed a damn cockroach in my house. That was scary. Oh, that's scary. What are some movies that people love you absolutely hate? I mean, there's some stuff that are like real popular stuff that I hear people talk about that are not my type of movie. Like, I'm not that excited, like that into like The Godfather. It's not like it's not that it's a bad movie. It's just like not my kind of a movie. So there's certain movies that are like that I just, like, for some reason I can't get into. I don't know how to explain it. Let's see. Maybe you can get Juliette Lewis in a movie. Yeah, Juliette Lewis would be really cool. She would be really cool to get. Should the USA legalize recreational weed? Yes, I definitely think so. Do you think the Wizard of Harry Potter, or Star Wars Galaxy's Edge more? Oh, the Wizarding World of Harry Potter or Star Wars Galaxy Edge. For me personally, I think because I like the Harry Potter movies a little bit more in a sense, and I think it's themed a little bit better because the thing that bothers me about Star Wars Galaxy's Edge, and I know it bothers a lot of people, is that it's themed so much to the new movies, and I wish so much it would have had stuff from the old movies too. And I don't know if it's something to do with the licensing or the characters or something, and they don't have the rights to characters, but I wish it was more like Luke Skywalker and stuff like that. I'm not gonna lie, you know what I mean? Like I really would rather be that, and I think most people feel the same way. So I feel like at least when you go to the Harry Potter land, it seems I feel more like I'm going to the world where it's like everything that should be there is there, and they're not like hiding away stuff. I think that I do wish they had more costume characters in Harry Potter land. I think that'd be kind of cool, but I don't think that the writer would allow it. I know that she had like a lot of like to do about that land originally and went there and like scrutinized everything, and from what I remember hearing. So she would probably scrutinize costume characters. So that's probably why you don't see them in there. Let's see. I think steelbooks are overrated. They seem to get damaged too easily. It's very easy to damage steelbooks. That is very true. I hear that it's hard to make movies over here. Chris LaMartina and some others do it well though. Yeah, Chris LaMartina does a great job. I would love to get to work with him again. Just saw the poster for Night of the Zomgul. So cool. Yeah, Zomgul, that should be a fun movie. I can't wait for you guys to see it. There should be, from what I heard, there's going to be like a limited edition VHS they're going to do, and then like a DVD and a Blu-ray, and then, like I said, the streaming and all that kind of stuff. What's the most valuable out-of-print edition, and what's your personal favorite? Like out of DVDs and Blu-rays that I have, some of the really valuable stuff that I have is Dead Alive, The Prince of Pennsylvania. Dead Alive, though, is one of those things that any moment is going to be like the Blu-ray will become worthless at some point whenever there is and they announce a new release 4K or Blu-ray of it or Scream Factory edition. Because it's one of those things where it's like right now it's so valuable, but you all know like any moment, like I said, the second one is announced, that one is going to lose all of its value and be worth like $15. It's crazy to think that, but it's like that's a really good one. Like I said, Camp Cucamonga, that's worth like $100. I have a lot of like Italian like editions of things and some German media books. Those I think are really valuable. Like like I know I saw Brendan put a few of them up on eBay, like the Elvira thing and stuff like that. But I always keep that stuff though. But I know those are some valuable ones. Let's see, Lo Contingente. Let's see. Do you understand why people double dip on movies? Yeah, I know. There's certain movies that I like double dipping on, like Dawn of the Dead, and certain things are kind of fun to get other editions of. But some things, after a while, you get to the point where you're like, how many times am I going to rebuy this thing? It's like you feel like for the rest of my life I'm going to be buying this thing forever and ever and ever. You know what I mean? But anyway, though, guys, I've been on here now for over 2 hours, a little over 2 hours. Thanks again, guys, for coming on. Like I said, I'm going to try and do these shows, these live streams more often, maybe every weekend or so. But thanks again, guys, for coming on and for watching. And if you guys need anything to check out, though, definitely head to Tubi. You can watch the Treasure Chest of Horrors movies on there. Those are fun ones. And also, too, I have a link to you guys can pre-order the DVD of Amityville Karen as well. Anyway, though, guys, thanks again for watching. Subscribe.